They be playing in your boy face. StreamYard. You gotta check, triple, quadruple check. Make sure everything is on. All right, we got everything on. We on three we on 3 platforms, babies. Holla at your boy, man. We on 3 platforms. What do women owe us in a relationship? To my brethren. What do women owe us in a relationship? I want to hear it. What's good, man? How is everybody's Sunday? Everybody had a good Sunday thus far? I feel like my Sunday just got started. I've been up since probably 6 o'clock. You're gonna be up there like you on some turntables. What you talking about? Sunday fun day. We in this thing, man. What do women owe men? What do women owe men in a relationship? I want to know. I really do. Oh, look at it. This is lovely. This is lovely. I see y'all over there. Oh man, it look tight on Facebook. Damn. That shit tight. Damn, Facebook little setup is vicious too. I need to share this. I need to share this link. Let's copy that link. Let's go to my other page. I'm not understanding. Really not understanding. Oh well. I don't know what to do, but whatever it is, we'll figure it out. We'll get to it. But here we are. We are live. How's everybody doing, man? Appreciate you. Love that, man. I love the support, love the love. Let's keep the live alive today, man. Let's definitely make sure we share the live, keep liking the live, all that good stuff. Y'all know the drill. Yeah. I ain't been doing much. I watched about an hour of football-ish, somewhere around there. I didn't really get a chance to. It was some trash-ass games on this morning anyway. I ain't going to even hold you, so not really tripping off of football right now. Niners play tomorrow. So here we are. We live. We gonna keep it live. All the way live today. Been in some weird lives, seen a lot of weird shit today on the lives today. Was in a live earlier. Was on a live earlier, and the men's were they was going. It wasn't even just the men though. It was a very weird live. I was in this live, and this lady asked a question, or she said, she did the whole like women don't need men to raise the kids, or the kids don't need their father, something along those lines. And y'all already know how I feel about that. I totally agree with that. And a bunch of dim-witted dudes got up there and was arguing and was saying that we needed, that women actually did need men to raise kids. And one dude got up there and said that men can raise kids without women, but women can't raise kids without men. All this other dumb stuff. And it was weird. It was very weird, but interesting, none the least. But yeah, men, what do women owe us in a relationship, right? I asked this question. I don't think I've ever asked it like this, but 67% of the time the kid's not there is crazy. So I asked the question because I want to hear, because I tell men, Ultra, I appreciate you. I tell men that I tell men that women don't need us to raise the children, right? The men get up in arms. I'm sorry, thinking about the other thing. We talk about this all the time as far as like in relation to should women be giving up sex? Should women ATL? Okay, got it. Appreciate you. Yeah, y'all names, the name blend together. ATL, raised and bred. Got it. Thanks, ATL. Anyways, so the problem is that men think that women owe men sex in a relationship, right? That's typically what we hear. But I'm curious to know, what else do men feel entitled to in a relationship? I want to know, what do men beyond sex, because apparently women owe us sex, right? So beyond that, what else do women owe us? What are some ideas? Let's guess. What do you think? What do we think the men's feel like women owe them in a relationship? Very, very, very curious. Very curious. Unconditional love. Okay. They'll say kindness, respect, submission. Submission, I believe. Respect, I believe. I don't know about the kindness part. Labor, they won't say labor. Peace, they won't say domestic labor. I almost guarantee you they won't. What do you think they'll actually say? I don't think they'll say either one of those things. I think they'll say peace. I can see that. Unconditional love, they will say. Silence. Yeah. I can see sex. Yeah. Unconditional love and silence and peace. I can see those things for sure. To cook for them, I don't think they're gonna say that. What up, villain? Respect is probably the biggest one they try to fight for. Yeah, they love fighting for their respect. Obedience, would that fall under? I think that's just, they won't say obedience though. That's what I'm saying. They won't actually say that. Loyalty will fall under, to me, unconditional love, but yes, they will say loyalty. Yeah. I'm just like what do you think they will actually say? And then my second question would be, what do y'all think women actually do owe men in a relationship? What do we owe each other in a relationship? Right? What do we owe each other in a relationship? Yep, they said peace, Regina. We owe them loyalty, but they don't owe us loyalty. We owe each other the truth. Okay. Safe space. Respect, but they don't be respecting people. Yep. I don't think anyone owes anyone except loyalty and respect. No, I think we owe more than that. I think, yeah, communication. Yep, exactly. I think we owe each other patience. I think we owe each other empathy, compassion. Yep. Absolutely. Effort. Yep. Definitely think we owe each other honest communication. ATL, exactly. Honest communication. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Understanding. Yep. Mm-hmm. Emotional regulation. Yep. That it's a lot of things that fall under that. One of them would be patience, right? And empathy. But definitely. Yeah. No. I'm just asking y'all. What do y'all think? What do you think? We owe each other in a relationship, because I know some people would say we don't owe each other anything, but like, I don't buy into that at all. You definitely sign up to owe, you definitely have some integrity. Yep. You definitely sign up for some things when you get into a relationship. Night J said we owe each other grace. How much grace we talking? How much grace are we talking here? Generosity, we owe each other. Yeah, definitely. 100%. Kindness, yep. Yeah. I don't know if we owe each other grace. Yeah. Yeah, grace is a thin line. I don't know. I don't know if you owe me that, because I can, like, if you make me upset one time, I can leave. And I don't feel like, yeah, if you upset my peace one time, I could dip. And I don't, and you know, some people would say that's extreme, or I'm not saying like I think like that. I'm just saying, like, to the people that do think like that and do function like that, I don't really think anything of it. Some of my sleep, I know. It's like, I don't really think anything of it. You know, I don't think that they're the problem. I don't think that they're irrational or anything like that. I think that's okay. Right. That's just, that they're not willing to put up with X, Y, and Z. So yeah, I'm with that. Reciprocity. We owe each other reciprocity. Absolutely. When it comes to messing up and working on a fix, for instance, we are all human. We are all human and mess up. This is reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, could be. Respect for the relationship and themselves. Owe you the benefit of the doubt until I have no doubt. Or until you have a doubt, you mean? Well, I don't know if I owe you the benefit of the doubt. Why? Why would you owe somebody the benefit of the doubt? I don't get that. That's very, 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 very subjective. What up, Alexander? Very subjective. I don't know if we owe each other the benefit of the doubt. Trust. Yep. Within reason. Not blind trust, obviously, but definitely trust. Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. That's the thing about grace, is like, we owe each other, but like, how much do we owe each other? Love. Yep. Absolutely. We didn't say love. You have to earn benefits of the doubt. Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely have to. Send those heart me's and donuts, y'all. Definitely. Let's get it on the FYP. Awareness of reality of what a relationship cause some people move off of fairy tales and unrealistic expectations in a relationship. Yeah. What are unreal expectations? What up, Deja? What are unreal expectations in a relationship? I feel like that's a tough one, because, yeah, that's a tough one. Unconditional love, absolutely not. Oh, you're saying that's what the men are going to say. Yeah, they're going to say that. I was like, wait, hell no. Yeah, the men will definitely say that. Expecting someone to stay the same. Some people think being kind is unrealistic. Yeah, I don't know what unrealistic expectations people have in a relationship. Um, you know, I can think of some that men have for women. I don't know of unreal expectations I've heard from women, like collectively. I've heard it from, like, like a woman or women here and there, but not like, not like when I actually talk to women about their expectations of men, or what they feel like men owe women, or yeah, what men owe women. I haven't really heard them be like, it'd be like, that's unreasonable. You know what I mean? But men, I think most of the expectations we have of women is pretty unreasonable. It's weird. The reason why I say that is because we don't live up to those same expectations. So it seems pretty crazy for us to expect women to. But some of the things that we take for granted from women, like, we don't even think are expectations of women. Some, like, being faithful, for an example. We just assume that women are faithful. Maybe it is on sub only. Yeah, it is. Sorry. It's not a sub only live though, no. But yeah, a lot of men will do that. A lot of men have unrealistic expectations of women. I see that. I see that a lot, actually. I see that a lot of times. A lot of times. The things that they like, they expect a woman to be a sex doll, you know. What up, Joker? They expect women to be sex dolls. They expect women to be chefs, therapists, be submissive, and provide. Listen, even though you be wrong half the time or 80% of the time. Let you lead, even though can read better than you and is more educated than you and has more patience than you and more empathy and more rational than you. Yeah, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations that I see men say available. They want us to be all those things. Yep. You can certainly have expectations. You can't say your partner owes you anything, in my opinion. My partner definitely owes me stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Your partner owes you stuff. Whatever you expect is what your partner owes you. Right? That those are the things. Those are the things they owe you to keep you in the relationship. Essentially, they owe you that stuff. They owe you not to cheat on you. They owe you that. If you're being faithful to them, they owe you that, right? If you're holding up your end of the bargain, they owe you. They only don't owe you when you're not holding up your end of the bargain. Team Cedar. That's the best way that I can describe it in my mind. They definitely owe you that shit. No doubt about it. Right. And people owe, and there's things that they owe you to not be abusive. They owe you to not lay their hands on you. They owe you to not get physical with you. They owe you that. 100%. They owe you to be present for the children. They owe you to help them out. You know what I mean? They owe you to be proactive and not reactive all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they owe you. Yeah, I can think of many ways that we owe people. But yeah, I'm waiting. We're gonna see if the fellas will come up here. I don't know. I don't know that. I think this one might be a little bit too. I don't think this one is. It don't get them angry enough. I don't even be trying to agitate the boys. They be agitated. What up, Kay? I don't know where Prototype at. He might be in here. Yep, not to be careless with money. Mm-hmm. Yep, I like those. I like all of those. If you don't want to do things, yeah, let's stay single. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to even say that. That's like saying, I promise I won't beat you. Crazy world we live in. Yeah. I mean, men do have to say that. Got to send out a dust call. Serene said, y'all in here conjuring the weirdos. Where the weirdos at? I don't see them. Where are the weirdos, Serene? I don't see them. Point them out. Oh, you talking about GV. They talking about they conjuring up GV and Prototype. Yeah, oh the boy, I forgot. Yeah. The men's is watching football today. Interesting. BOA. BOA. Oh, I wonder if I put this. Hold on. Wonder if I put this in the chat, will it? That'd be dope. Whatevs. As long as it's reciprocated, I agree. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Is your prompt to say that a woman owes nothing and men owes everything? Is that what you got from this prompt, Amiri? Amir, why do you come in here every day and I invite you up and you never come up and then I mute you and then you come back the next day? Do I gotta block you? I don't want to block you. It's getting hectic in here. Mr. High Value. Where is Mr. High Value at? I don't know where Mr. High Value is at. He already did it. We gonna mute that boy. You know I don't like answering y'all in these comments. I'm about to have a whole conversation with you in the comments. They owe us everything. Be specific. What do they owe? Tell me. You got blocked by Saul. That's good. Those women owe us the world. Interesting take. I want to know. I want specifics though. I don't want y'all to say general, like that's vague. What do women owe us? And yeah, what do they owe us? Why do I say what? I just realized how controversial my view on what your partner owes you. What's your why is your view controversial, Ra? DJ, Charlie, you don't think women owe you anything in a relationship? You don't think women owe you anything? I don't know. I invited you up. Hold on. I'll do it again. I invited you up. I don't know why it says it's canceled. Nobody. Oh, it might be because we invited you up. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why it did that. Yeah. My view is your partner owes you nothing. That's interesting. Why do you think your partner doesn't owe you anything? Yeah. You guys don't see the request button? Yeah. Come up, DJ Charlie. You see what this is? Explain it to me. Okay, you see it. Okay. I was gonna dip and come back. If need be. Nah, you good. You good, Rachel. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Why be in a relationship if they don't owe you anything? That's what I'm trying to figure out. DJ Charlie, you can't come up here and explain that? Owe me reciprocation or owe me believing in me? What does that mean? I got you, Charlie. You good. I don't think they owe us anything but want respect. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. It's I don't know why. Hold on, let me turn this up so I can hear you. All right, there you go. Y'all, hold on. Man. There we go. Okay. We're good. There you go. Let me hear you talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. You good.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm plugged up to my car, so I just want to make sure y'all can hear me.
Yeah, no, you good.
No, yeah, I mean, I just commented my point of view, but I don't think women necessarily owe us anything specifically. I think we're all obviously individual people and that we're going to make the decisions that we want to make in life and do the things that we want to do. I don't think they necessarily owe us anything, but if these people decide to give us these things like love, honesty, respect, and then those things allow those conversations to continue and relationships to go on.
So you don't think your partner owes you fealty? You don't think they owe you you don't think they owe you what's it called? Not loyalty, but you don't think loyalty. You don't think they owe you that?
I mean, I would want it, but that doesn't necessarily mean I think that they'll give it to me, right? So, like, again, like, we're all human beings.
Then why be in a relationship with them?
Well, no, like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I think over time you'll find whether or not these people will give you these things, right? So they may offer them in the beginning, and then eventually, maybe over time, things change in that relationship, and then that person no longer decides to offer you those things. And I believe that's why people eventually break up, right? Like, I recently had a conversation with one of my old high school teachers. He was married, and he said, like, him and his wife, you know, they were really, really connected and together for a long time. And then at a certain point, she just kind of grew in a different direction. Like, she wanted to, you know, go out to do like art shows and things like that. And he was like, no, like, I'm not that type of dude. I want to go, you know, play basketball, you know, stay in the house, play Madden on Saturdays. And they eventually kind of just, you know, went their separate ways because, you know, they grew apart. So, I think over time,
but they owe you, not to cheat on you, for sure.
Yes, I mean, again, yes, I would want that, but that doesn't mean that that's exactly going to happen.
That's not what I'm saying. It's not. People can owe you $100 and never pay you, but they still owe you the $100, right?
Well, but that's based on an agreement.
This is hold on, wait. There you go. That's the agreement. So when you get into a relationship with a person, you don't agree with that person that you're going to be monogamous?
Well, it depends, right? So, like, it depends on whether those people defined, you know, specifics, right? A lot of times, sometimes people get into relationships and never even define what they specifically want from people, right? They kind of just, you know, they fall into relationships, and then they get to a point where it's a situation where they are asked certain questions, and it's like, well, I don't want that, or I don't believe this, or I don't want it to go this certain way, and then it's like, hey, we got to part ways.
Okay, but beyond this what if scenario, I'm saying in most relationships, monogamous relationships, you're saying that the other person doesn't even owe you monogamy? They don't even owe you to be faithful?
I mean, yes, for me specifically, yes.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, what do they owe you?
But I'm saying, in general, the way that the world is going now, like, you can't put 100% definition on anything is the way I see it. So that's why I say specifically, I just take things by case, to be honest with you.
Nah.
For me, yes. In my own personal relationship, yes. But generally speaking, no.
Nah. Generally speaking, what makes you think that now infidelity is worse than it was back in the day? What makes you think now? Like you guys say stuff like, you know, nowadays, as if like nowadays is worse than back in the day. But like, what do you think? You don't think the men were cheating back in the day? Like, what are you talking about?
No, 100%. I mean, you know, specifically, if you want to talk about back in the day, I mean, if you even want to go into the Black community, right? Like, you know, a lot of us had families where it was just like, hey, you know, Papa had a second family that he was paying for, right? Clearly, that came from infidelity because he was married to your grandmother. So clearly, we know since back then, men have always cheated. I mean, even going way beyond that point, men have always cheated. So it's not necessarily, I want to say, infidelity is necessarily higher. I think that there's just a lot more different avenues that people are going down nowadays. Like, there's a lot more different options and choices. Honestly, I mean, I would say. I
don't think people are cheating more now than they were back in the day. Marv said it's easier to cheat now. I don't think it's easier to cheat now. Because what you guys think is easier is like, oh, because there's more options, right? So in one hand, you would think that makes it easier. But on the other hand, back in the day when women couldn't leave the relationship and the men had all the financial control in the relationship and the physical control because women they had no rights, then what would make you think that it wasn't easier to cheat back then when there were no repercussions back then? Now, there's some repercussions.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm currently driving right now, but I mean, I think, like I said, back then specifically, like you said,
What
yes, I will say it definitely was, I guess, a lot, I guess, easier and harder to say to cheat back then. Like I said, because there was no social media in the sense of like how we have it today, and there wasn't obviously as many options. I think, like as you could say, right, like there are women in Middle America who could get flown out tonight by a guy on a private jet, whereas like back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that could never happen. Like you had to actually know that person. You had to actually have a connection with that person in comparison to today's standards. So it's just kind of like you said. I mean, I agree that there's definitely way more options on both sides. It's not necessarily a woman has the ability to cheat more. I think everyone has more options, or the perception of more options, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I said. I agree. I think people are missing the point. Just because you have more options, you still got to choose to cheat.
Agreed.
Right? Okay, cool. I'm saying if we acknowledge that it's easier to get caught nowadays and women have more, they have more freedom. So if you cheat, like once again, like I'm saying, back in the day, somebody said in the comments, back in the day, a man could cheat, have two families on the same block. So y'all telling me it wasn't easier to cheat back in the day? Because it's not about the opportunity to cheat. That's not what I'm saying. All you need is one opportunity to cheat. You don't need 10,000. You need one, right? What I'm saying is, with that one opportunity, will you actually do it? Because it still is going to take for you to cheat. And I'm saying that the juice doesn't outweigh the squeeze as much as it did last 50 years ago, when women had little to no freedom and they couldn't leave, and the man could cheat in peace. She couldn't even mention that he was cheating. Like a lot of women couldn't even, if she caught the man, she couldn't even bring it up to him. She had to suffer in silence. She couldn't even do it.
100%. No, yeah, 100%. Because I was gonna bring up that point. Like it was shame back then, right? Like I mean, even today, right? Like by today's standards, right? More specifically in the South, and like when you find more, I guess, traditional, conventional families and things like that of the sort, like women and families, like even a perfect example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a situation where we randomly had some family come up from the South, right? At my family home in New York City. Like that's where I live. And if your house is not clean specifically, like that falls on the women. Like even by today's standards, like they still hold that same perception so many years later. So it's like back then, even in those instances, yes, like if like you said, if that woman specifically found out her husband, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, she couldn't even disclose that information because she would bring so much shame to herself. And it's just kind of like, well, you picked this man, you chose to be with this man, you chose to have children with this man. Like they hold that shame.
No, that's not what used to happen. The women didn't have anywhere to go.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it still had public shame. Is my point.
No, it didn't.
Like their family didn't want to hold that.
Wait. So you're saying the women wouldn't say anything because they were ashamed that the man? Nah, they couldn't, bro.
I'm saying it's the public perception, right? Like obviously we have situations. All right, just even more generally speaking, right? We don't tell everybody everything that's going on with our family, even in modern day standards, because obviously we don't want everyone in our business. Certain things to certain people are considered shameful. Now, granted, so for some certain conversations are more or less shameful depending on who you ask and what the situation is. But generally speaking, we don't tell everyone everything about ourselves because we don't want the social condemnation that comes with those conversations. So what I'm saying is specifically back then, and I even think still now to these certain standards, depending on what circles you run in, if you find out that your husband is a cheater, specifically in circles where men are held accountable to their families, if they find out, or like it's known that the men in their circles are cheating, those families become social pariahs.
No, they don't.
And that they do.
They don't. You're just making that up.
They do.
Nope. Nobody
They're not
ostracizes.
making it up.
Nobody ostracizes men in public for cheating, bro.
I can guarantee you right now, I know an exact example of it happening.
They don't. I'm telling you, societally speaking, nobody cares when men cheat. Historically,
Yes, okay,
they haven't.
yes. Okay, generally speaking, yes, the majority of men are not holding men accountable, but that's not we're not talking about. Like we are speaking generally speaking, but yes, there are men who hold other men accountable. Yes,
Not
on
many.
a grand scale.
Not many.
Right? Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so when we say men don't hold men accountable, we're talking about on a grand scheme, on a grand scale. We're not talking about the one dude you know. We're talking about the 50 dudes you know that cheated and nobody said shit about it. Right? That's what we're saying.
I mean, no, yes. I mean, yes. We can never speak in absolutes, I guess, at this point, right? Yes. There's always going to be some man who's going to do something that's not agreeable. Right?
Who was speaking in absolutes? I don't think either one of us was speaking in absolutes.
No, but what I'm saying is there's always going to be somebody who's going to do something that people are not going to agree with. Like, is my point. Right? So we're never going to be perfect. It is my point, but we have to speak to the non-anecdotal points is my point.
In general, men cheating is now frowned upon. Even today, even in 2024, it's now frowned upon.
Yes. I mean, I think, again, just kind of going back to our original point of people in general are sexually liberated overall. So, yes.
No, they're not. We live in a sexually repressed society, not liberated one.
So you don't think, like, granted, while it may not have been the original purpose of it, you don't think things like Tinder, social media, and all these things overall kind of perpetuate that?
Perpetuate what?
The overall advancement of sexual liberation, right? So, like, while Tinder, I guess in its infancy was probably. If we lived in a wait.
If we lived in a sexually liberated society, phrases like hookup culture, 304s, sluts, words like that wouldn't exist, right? If we lived in a sexually liberated society, men or women wouldn't be ostracized for hunching on other men or women, right? You wouldn't be ostracized for being bisexual. You wouldn't be ostracized for being transsexual. In what society do you live in where that's not the case? Like, that's not happening in America? We are very much oppressed in this society. Like, we do not. Our society is now. We live in a grape culture. We live in a society that is at the core of it is a grape culture when it comes to sex. That's not sexually liberating.
Okay, I mean that's a lot to unpack in a couple of seconds, but I think generally speaking, in comparison to our parents, grandparents' generation, would you not agree?
No.
That people are more sexually liberated?
No. How old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30. I'm 42. So
okay.
Gen Z, I mean millennials, we was hunching more than Gen Z is hunching. My mom, she's 67 years old. She was alive during the 70s, during the free love movement. There was literally a movement called free love movement. They was out there hunching, brother. They were pushing for sexual liberation. We never achieved it. But if you mean to tell me that they weren't as sexually liberated as we are now in the 70s, I would highly disagree. I think that they were more. We went. I think we took a step. I think we took a step back in the 80s. I think we took a step back in the 80s. And then from then it kind of, went back, and then we've been kind of pushing and, trying to, trying to get it back now. But no, I don't think I think we live in a very sexually repressive society with no question about it.
Right. I mean, like, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying people weren't doing it. What I'm saying is, I think it's more spoken about. It's like it's my point, right? Like, it's more on the front end of it, right? Like, me specifically, I work in the advertising space, right? So I'm part of a lot of conversations where these things are actively used, right? Specifically, there's a saying in the advertising space: if there isn't enough drugs, money, sex, and violence, you need to go back and rewrite the ad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if those are the things that people are purposely telling people to write ads based upon, how can we not sit there and say that now society is, I guess, less sexually liberated in those senses? Because they weren't saying that back then. But in comparison to now, especially when you look at movies, when you look at all these other things that subtly promote it, granted, sure, everything may not be like, oh, let's just tell people to have sex or blah, blah, blah. My point is, there are little key indicators and markers that people are subconsciously taking in that they are saying, cool, all right, this is more cool to do now.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
I disagree with that. Also, the people that are saying because of STDs is not true. You don't. That's not why we became a more repressed society when it comes to sexuality. Okay, that's crazy. That's not because you wait. Hold on, time out. Because if you wanted to actually fight against the spread of STDs, you wouldn't repress sexuality. You would openly talk about it to bring it to the forefront so that nobody is doing it under. That's why a lot of women, for an example, we talked about DL men, right? That's why a lot of women in committed relationships with men are catching STDs from DL men a lot of times because the DL men are sexually repressed and they can't just be who they want to be, right? So, and then also the kids aren't being taught about real sex ed because we live in a sexually repressed society where in America they go, don't have sex. And that's not the answer. Abstinence is not the answer. You got to really teach them about sex. You got to teach them the ins and the outs about it from a scientific standpoint, right? From a social standpoint, it has to be a holistic approach.
No, yeah, I mean, I can agree with those 2 points you just made.
Yeah. So I don't believe that STDs is the reason why we live in a sexually repressed society, because we were sexually repressed 2,000 years ago. So what's the difference? What HIV didn't exist 2,000 years ago. Women had to cover their whole body from head to toe. If women made eye contact with a man, they were beheaded and shit like that. Like, what do you mean? It had nothing to do with STDs. That's crazy. That's a wild take.
I mean, yeah, I don't know who said that, but I didn't bring that part up. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, I mean, in my opinion, and I'm willing to be wrong in the eyes of public opinion, but I think specifically, I don't know, like I said, I mean, my religious views, I think, put me in a different category of viewing things in certain lights in comparison to society. So, yeah, I mean, I think me specifically, I'm just willing to kind of stand where I am currently with it, and maybe if I hear
what did your religious views have to do with this? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, because we were specifically talking about sexual liberation, right? Specifically.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry, Miss Kid. Here's what I'm saying. HIV didn't scare Gen X from hunching without condoms. HIV didn't scare Gen X. HIV didn't scare millennials. We was hunching. We was having babies at 16. Like, let's be so for real. Nobody was afraid of HIV. If we were afraid of HIV, it wouldn't be here. We're not afraid of it. Gen X definitely wasn't afraid of it. Gen X and millennials, definitely. Maybe Gen Z a little. Maybe Gen Z is more afraid of it. Gen X and millennials, not afraid of it whatsoever. Boomers, not afraid of it whatsoever. Not afraid whatsoever. Nope. Out there hunching left and right. I'm gonna send this. Hey, I hit the whatever for SG. SG, you can come up. You got a lot to say in the chat. You can come up. All diseases are scary diseases, not just HIV. All diseases should be scary, right? But it wasn't enough to keep us from hunching. unprotected. That's all I'm saying. If y'all gonna sit here and try to act like HIV woke it up in you and you started like, nah, you wasn't doing that shit. Y'all, most people will still hunt you without hats on. Just being real. I don't know what he doing. I think he said he was on the road doing something. Yeah, pneumonia is scary.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, but I'm trying to
figure out.
I'm trying to figure out what do you mean? What does your religion have to do with anything we're talking about?
I mean, because I think that falls into specifically, I guess, how I view things and the choices I decide to make in life.
What do you mean? What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now, specifically?
Well, we were talking about people being sexually liberated, were we not?
Uh-huh.
And so if someone, let's just say their religious viewpoints, let's just say, don't agree with those sexual liberations, it's kind of, your viewpoints are going to be a lot different than, I guess, the societal standards of whether something is okay or not.
Well, I'm not. Where's the discussion about what are we talking about that something is okay? I don't understand.
Well, I don't know. So basically, like what I was saying was, I was pretty much ending my point, kind of just saying like, hey, like I'm willing to kind of stand where I currently am on my point because it, I guess, disagrees with my, worldly viewpoint in comparison to my religion. Like I was pretty much ending my point is what I was saying before you kind of changed over really quickly about talking to the person about HIV.
But I'm just trying to figure out I just don't know what your religious background have to do with what we're doing right now. What up, Sean? What does it have to do with what we're discussing right now? That's what I'm confused about.
I'm just saying my viewpoints are going to be a lot different, right? So when we talk about the whole conversation in regards to specifically, I guess, sexual liberation, the whole it has nothing to necessarily do with like what do women owe men? No, it doesn't specifically. But I'm saying,
with that, yeah, I'm saying in regards, yeah, no, I'm saying in regards to the sexual liberation part, like, what is it? Are you saying that the reason why you think we're so sexually liberated is because you're religious and you think that women should be in long ass skirts and fucking frocks and shit? Like, what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I don't feel like something is...
You think women should have to go to the beach? So, like, you think women should have to go to the beach in the pool dressed in fucking full, like, clothes and shit? Like, like, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm asking you. I'm dead. I don't... That's not what I said. Sir, I'm asking you if that's what you're saying, though. If that's what you're alluding to.
No. That's not. If that's what I was alluding to, that's what.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I think we're getting. I think where the disconnect is happening is like you think because people can talk about smecks in a certain way on TV and the radio, then we're sexually liberated, and that's not the case.
I guess if we're talking about the religious standpoint of it, right? I think when certain things are introduced into a public setting, it therefore then gives people, I guess, thoughts about things that they wouldn't possibly maybe even ever been introduced to, right? So like I guess the same thing is like when you talk about, let's say, drugs and music, right? There might be certain kids who might have never popped a perk before a day in their life, but because they heard, like, maybe let's just say, Lil Baby talk about popping perks. Now
hey, wait. Be careful with that. Be careful with that terminology.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you good. But I got you though. Yeah.
But yeah, like, so you presenting certain ideas and imagery and sounds and music and just that whole kind of thing obviously puts ideas into people's head that they would have never thought about. So that kind of, like I said, so that's why I feel like it ties back into my whole point about religion in general, because it's like, well, if you are someone who is against these things, whether you're, a Muslim, a Christian, a Hebrew,
what are you against?
Like whatever you want to claim.
What are you against?
I'm just saying, I'm not really specifically against a lot. All I'm just saying is, generally speaking, from a religious standpoint, because there are certain things in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever it may be, that is telling you don't do things in life those things are in complete contradiction to what those societies
Okay,
would tell you.
but I'm asking you. But I'm asking you, what are you against? And I'm not beyond the smug. I'm not talking about smug. I'm talking about sexually. What are you against?
I mean, well, okay, if you are quote unquote married, right? There in the Bible specifically, it tells you, because I'm a Christian, right? The Bible specifically tells you there is nothing that you can do to defile the marriage bed, right? If you are married. So if you are within the covenant of marriage, there is nothing that you can do that I can say you are against. Now, if you're not a Christian or you're not married, then I mean, you know, clearly it just tells you.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about? What are you against when it comes to the idea or the concept of sexual liberation? What are you against? Are you against it? Do you think we shouldn't be liberated sexually? Or do you think that this is what sexual liberation looks like in 2024? That's what it is, where it's at right now. Like now we're liberated sexually, right? That's what you're saying?
Right. I mean, I don't think it should necessarily be a public display because, like, I just think in general people should be able to make their own decisions, right? So, like, if we're in a society where things are just promoted to people, right? And
like Smex? Like Smex?
I mean, yes, if you want to say that, if you want to say, like, just things in general, right? Like, I'm against anyone promoting something that they would not necessarily be open to on their own, right? Like,
so you're not open to, so you're not open to Smex on your own?
Well, I think that's a biological human thing that we all feel the urge.
Exactly. It's a very natural thing. So why shouldn't it be out in the open?
Right. It's not saying that there shouldn't be any sort of like education or like any sort of, but I think at a certain point, too much of anything could be detrimental, right?
Too much of it. What does too much look like to you?
I don't know. I mean, like you can't quantify that, right? Because every person is different, right? It's kind of like the theory of like how they would say games like Grand Theft Auto back in the day were like
hold on, sir. Hold on. I asked.
You can't play that game
but I asked you. I said, what does it look like to you?
Okay, all right. So for me specifically, again, like I said, I'm not trying to make this specifically about me, but I'm trying to speak in general terms. But yes, for me, anything that would push someone to do those actions earlier than they would have liked to, right? Because of social norms, anything that would just push them to do something before they're ready, I believe is too much. But again, like I said specifically, that is a varying scale depending on you as an individual.
Okay, so you think that TV tells teenagers to have Smex? You think media is telling little kids to have Smex?
There are shows that promote it.
Name it.
Euphoria.
Which is not for little kids.
Shows. It doesn't matter if it's for little kids.
It does matter. No. But wait, it definitely matters who this show is for. Because by your standards, then adults. There should never be anything that's for adults. What are you talking about? So everything should be PG. Hold on, wait. So everything should be rated PG at best, at worst, right? In your mind.
My point is, it does not matter what the intent of something
is.
It
does.
Access to something.
The access. Okay, so, sir, hold on. The access is controlled by the parents. So if the parents don't stop the kids, that's one form of it. Also, again, the parents need to teach the kids, hey, you don't watch that type of stuff. It's not good for you. Here's why. B, hey, if you do watch this stuff and you do, hold on. If you do watch this stuff and you do get the urge, because I don't believe a show makes you want to have Smex, but I'm just saying, if you do end up having Smex, ultimately, this is how you protect yourself and your partner. This is what you should be doing. That's how you solve that problem, bro. I don't know what's going on. Super easy.
That's a hypothetical situation. Bro.
That is literally the best. That's not hypothetical. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Most parents are not in their kids' faces 24/7 like that.
Nobody said you had to be. I'm not in my kid's face 24/7.
Right, but I'm saying, but every kid is not gonna have that level of parent. So to say,
bro,
sit there and say, well, just because
you just saying stuff.
Is not for kids, and they're not gonna see
you just saying stuff. You just saying stuff. So basically, you're saying that everything should be PG or G rated because somewhere kids could get access to it. So parents, so adults, we gotta suffer. Even though we don't got kids, we can never watch anything R-rated. That means The Color Purple. That means the movie Glory. That means fucking that means Malcolm X. That means all these great films would have never been made because you feel like, oh, the parents ain't doing enough to keep the kids. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, come on, bro.
I get what you're saying. Yes, if it falls on the parents to a degree, but as a parent, as I'm pretty sure you know, because I know you have children. Yeah. You will never be able to protect them from everything that they're going to see. You didn't listen to what I said. I already told you what you can't protect them from everything, right? So what you do is you tell them stuff like, "Hey, this is probably gonna happen." That's why I said abstinence is a stupid approach. Right? Telling kids, telling people, young adults, don't have sex, dumb approach. Teaching them the consequences of having it and teaching them how to protect themselves, the right approach. Because they're gonna have it eventually. If it's when they're 16 or 20 or 22, they're going to have it. So you teach them this is how you have it responsibly. You don't tell people alcohol is being sold. You don't tell people don't drink. You say, hey, if you drink, this is how you drink as responsibly, because you can't really drink responsibly, whatever, but this is how you drink responsibly, right? You get a cab home. You don't, you know what I mean? You make sure that you don't get too drunk. When you feel yourself get to this point, you need to stop. You teach people how to police themselves. That's what you do. That's what parents are supposed to do. Yes. And if you're saying that most parents don't do that, then that's a problem with society, not the problem on the people making the art. That's a weird take. It's not the artist's job to protect your kids, bro. It's not the artist's job to protect your kids. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying. Yes, everything that you're saying is correct, right? Education on the parent side, but unfortunately, every child is not going to receive that information in the same way. Even if it's presented in the same way, the majority of children are not going to receive it the same way. They're still going to do what they want to do. They're still going to respond how they want to respond. And you just kind of got to hope and pray that it works out the way that it should. All right, I got a couple. I got a couple questions. Some people got some questions for you. Miss Not For Everyone said, this is boring. I'm just saying. And Invincible Summer said, do you believe it that we should have sex education in school? Do I believe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. Miss Not For Everyone said he's religious, but he brought up sex though. True. Well, I mean, I didn't bring it up. You did bring it up. I didn't bring it up. Well, we were originally, when the conversation first started, we were talking about women in relationships and what they owe us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we started talking about. Well, I asked you if do women owe us loyalty, and you said you said a bunch of stuff in between, but eventually you said yes, and then you brought up we were talking about cheating, and that's when the sex part came up, the sexual liberation, all that stuff. What up, BPG?
Yeah, that was a lot. Hey, I disagree for sure with the part about TV and TV ratings and all, and all of that spiff. For a whole bunch of reasons. Because for one, media is always reflective of the culture anyway. Mm-hmm. But also, like, you saw these same things happen, and people were doing candy, while they were writing books and newspapers before there was ever TV or radio or any form of like electronic communication. People were doing those things then. Mm-hmm. And they were having, SMEX parties and, you know, all of those things well before it was something that was just like commonly advertised. Like that's always been a thing. And a lot of that comes from that deviancy of putting taboos around healthy sexual relationships. Like a lot of that stems from that. A lot of that stems from these men who have a desire to act out their wildest fantasies with women who are usually disenfranchised, with women who usually are considered deviants in the community because they want to be educated or because they're very domineering or because, you know, they seek to have success. Like those women and women who are okay with, you know, being sexual. Those women are usually the ones who fall subject to being misused and mistreated by the desires of men who like to say that they're very conservative in their views, but the ways in which they like to have their sexual relationships are completely opposite. Like that's been a thing for quite literally centuries. But the other thing is too is like even when it comes to shows like Euphoria, like that is based on the demographic of who is watching. And I don't know why people feel like when it comes to conversations around SMEX, specifically with teenagers, that if you just avoid them seeing these things, then that means that will stop them from doing it. That doesn't...
So weird. The thing that is natural too, that he acknowledges natural, us having SMEX, a desire to have SMEX, very natural. What would make you think like...
So weird.
What would make you think that? Like,
you know what I mean? Like we've all been teenagers. There was never a point where there was not a pamphlet, there was not a conversation, there was not a scripture or a vacation Bible school that ever stopped that desire because
never.
That's something natural. Now, what you do have to do is you have to teach responsibility and you have to teach media literacy when it comes to teenagers. You have to help them to understand, like, hey, what you see on TV is not how you should mimic your relationships. Like what you see on TV is meant to be entertaining. It's sensationalized. It is not meant for you to carry that out in your actual relationships and teaching them safety and teaching them like, hey, this is what you need to consider if you're going to be in a relationship. Like that's how that should work. But because of the fact that you have people who are deviants themselves, truth be told, and they have those histories they know that when they was in college or high school or whatever, they was doing something, you know, little slick on the low that their parents didn't know about. They project that onto their kids and they believe that just all kids are out to do stuff they ain't got no business because that's what they set out to do. So it's one of those weird ideals that really it doesn't get far. It doesn't go anywhere because it just doesn't even make sense.
I want to read this because I think this is very crazy. Anthony Reeves, appreciate you, man. Anthony said, I grew up Pentecostal and I was barred from sex ed classes. 7 out of 10 families in my former church had teen pregnancies. Abstinence only is a joke. Exactly. Everybody I know, like, that was like repressed sexually or abused sexually, they were the ones that ended up like having babies early. Like it was usually those people.
Absolutely right.
Like,
because they don't have a sense of what a healthy sexual relationship, what healthy touch is, for one. You talking about kids that are also very, very touch depraved. They don't have parents who teach them love in the home in the sense of they don't have somebody consistently telling them they love them. They don't have somebody consistently, you know, giving them affirmations or encouraging them or having conversations with them. Like people always think of intimacy as something that's, for one, immediately is sexual, or immediately it's something that, you know, you do with a partner. But intimacy is something, it's a safe boundary that you create with somebody that you trust. People don't want to create that with their kids because they are terrified of dealing with their own trauma and their own issue. You have to be able to teach your kids in the home, like, hey, this is safe touch, this is unsafe touch. this is okay, but no adult should be having secrets with you. Nobody should be, touching you in private places or anything like that. Even if it feels nice, because there's some weird adults that will convince kids that that's okay. But it's a long list of things that you have to be having consistent conversations with your kids about that people avoid, and then their kids they beat their kids, and then their kids end up in these relationships with other kids, or they end up being mistreated by other adults because they don't have an understanding of how this is supposed to work. They think it's okay to have secrets with adults. They think it's okay to bow to authority, and it's leaving their kids in situations where eventually they also develop that same level of sexual deviancy. Like it's a never-ending cycle.
Julie, I don't think me or BPG ever said that all people who have babies young were abused or repressed. I said that almost everybody I know that had a baby as a teen were one of those two things, if not both of those things. That's all I said.
Yeah, you never said, oh, you said the people I know. You did say the people I know.
Yeah, and I don't, and even then, I'm not saying that. Of course, I would never say, oh, that's a weird, like I wouldn't, all doesn't come out of my mouth like that often. That's crazy. Like, no, of course I know that there are people who were abused, and they they block people out. They don't even they're afraid to touch a guy or a woman or whatever. Like, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. But most of the people who are hypersexual were sexually abused. Also, other caveat I'll throw out there, especially for the girls, because most young teenage boys aren't having babies. The teenage pregnancies are predominantly young girls from older men, from 20-year-old, 22-year-old men having sex with 16-year-old girls. So even if that 16-year-old girl wasn't, repressed or abused in her home, that guy is the abuser to her. So you know what I'm saying? Like, he was the abuser. So maybe it didn't start, maybe her dad didn't do nothing bad to her, and nobody repressed her. She was all good, but she's 16 and she got scooped up by a 20-year-old, or she 14 and got scooped up by a 21-year-old, right? Or she's 17 and she got scooped up by a 30-year-old, right? So now she's a victim of SA, and that's where most, as far as I know, that's where most of the young girl pregnancies are coming from. It's from that dynamic. Right, or a large portion. I don't know if it's most of them, but no, a large portion of it.
It is a large portion, but you know what? You can't stand on that. This is the one opportunity where, truthfully, you can say all in this situation, because there are two things that happen in those situations. Well, there are three, but one is, like I said, parents aren't teaching their kids at home. I watched the episode of SVU, and they were talking. This girl was pregnant, and she had no idea that she was pregnant, but she also didn't know what the process was to get pregnant. She had no idea what that meant. Mm-hmm. So she meets this guy, he impregnates her, and she's like excited about, what he's doing to her. And I think she was on the spectrum as well. But even still, because it hadn't been explained to her, she didn't know that anything was wrong with that. And she was like really, really young. She was like 14, I think 13 or 14. She had no idea. But then you also have on the other end, like I said, kids consistently being taught to submit to authority. All authority ain't safe. If you teach kids that all adults are authority, and you get them around some authority, quote unquote, that wants to take advantage of them, they will. But then you have the last part, which is you have kids who are easily manipulated because you're not having a conversation with them about adults not having secrets with them. So you have a 16-year-old girl who meets a 30-year-old man that tells them, well, I can do this for you, and I can do that for you, and I can buy you this, and I can give you this as long as you do this thing for me. And she doesn't see anything wrong with that because, for one, she's not telling her parents about the relationship, and two, she doesn't know how the world works because her parents have clouded her ideas of how that works because they've sheltered her because she's a girl. So, yep. No, you absolutely can. You can say all.
But, yeah, Julie, I know you didn't say that I said all. You said Many unloved, abused children are never getting knocked up or even sleeping around, which would imply that I was saying all as if that wasn't an option. I know that happens too. I know there's a bunch of kids who don't get knocked up and don't get most teenagers don't get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Most young boys don't get girls pregnant. I know that. That was my point. So the implication was I had to, what if I didn't, I never said that this wasn't a possibility. So what would be the assumption, right? That I was saying all or something like that. That's why I said that, right? Because I never said nothing that you said disagree with what I said. Yeah, I know. I get it. Many. Yeah. But once again, I never said many don't. I just said in most cases, if you get pregnant as a teen, you are either sexually abused or sexually repressed or a combination of the two. The vast majority of the time. That's all I was saying. And then you said, that's not true, Pub. How isn't that true? What do you mean? I didn't say they all do that. I didn't say they all got pregnant. No. I get that. Yeah, it's just wild. Go ahead, Dad. Oh,
we can hear her. I don't know if she's talking.
Oh, Dab, I don't think Dab, are you talking?
No, I'm talking about the lady on YouTube.
What'd you say? No, she's not talking. She was typing messages.
Okay.
Yeah. Go. What's up, Dad? I don't know.
I don't know where that went.
I'm gonna send an invite.
You're right. And a lot of it is just like, you know, people don't want to admit that those things happen and that they really are a result from adult men. I had a cousin who was pregnant at 13, and she never divulged who the father of her child was. She never shared who it was. She had a tumultuous life anyway, though, because she had a mom who was, you know, on candy or whatever. So it was known that her mom had tried to sell her, you know, a few times. So to this day, we still have no idea if that's how she got impregnated or what, because she ended up getting unalived when she was 17.
Damn.
But yeah, these things happen very often, and they happen because of how we have conversations around sex, and we have to change that if we want kids to have a better grasp of how these things happen and how to better protect themselves. Even if it's just a matter of you're able to come to me and tell me that, you know, this older guy is saying something to you that makes you uncomfortable, or he's offering you things. Like, you have to open that door for kids to be able to come to you, because if they can't, they won't, and that will lead to a whole bunch of issues.
You know what I just thought about, just randomly right now? I'm pretty sure everybody's who's thought about this, but I just thought about it right now. You know how men love to talk about how women before this age got, you know, more women got babies before this age than men got babies and all this stuff, which I always find to be really odd. And you know how, like, when it comes to paternity, basically what they do is they just ask the men, like, do you have a kid? And the men say no, right? Or yes, or whatever, right? That's how they basically do that, right? Or and I'm sure they do it through also a part of it is through like signing up the birth certificates, and you know, things they co-op, you know, they get it so many ways, but one of the main ways is basically them just asking men, do you have a baby, right? But if the majority of teen pregnancies are being caused by older men, why would they ever admit to having a kid? So basically, you can just write off all teen pregnancies.
Yeah.
Because ain't no man claiming that baby. So whatever number of women got pregnant at 17, 16, 15, just assume like 80% of them, the man ain't gonna claim the baby. I don't know how many babies that is, but I guarantee you it's a good percentage of babies that are born in this country to teens.
That's kind of what I came up with it for. Because they love to talk about, he was talking about the show Euphoria and what it's teaching kids that they can do. But like, our grandparents and us was growing up watching Leave It to Beaver, where we never seen them in the same room together. We was watching the Cosby Show, where we never seen them. If we seen them in the bedroom, they was not in the bed at the same time, right?
Mhm.
So we never seen these acts happening. But we have teen pregnancies, right?
We was hunching.
Even back then, if you go a little bit further than that, you had a lot of people who were having children, but those children were growing up thinking that their mom was their auntie or their mom was their sister.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Them been having kids by older men or other men that the family didn't approve of, or them being teenagers and they said we're going to sweep it under the rug. So a lot of kids grew up thinking their aunties was their sisters or cousins.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like to sit here and act like this is something, again, we always act like, oh, now it's out of control. It's so much. It's not out of control. We just have internet now and we can see what other people are doing in other places. But it's nothing new under the sun.
I'm not in the school of thought that I think corn rots people's brains. I don't really think like music too much or TV so much. Like I don't really believe in it be having, like, if you are at home and I mean if you got like a stable family environment, I think it could pretty much undo anything that like TV and music is doing, right? Whatever damage that's doing. But like corn is something different. Corn, it has a whole different effect on the brain. It fucks your brain up. You know what I'm saying? And you can overdo anything. Don't get me wrong. I know if you just constantly sit up and watch violent movies and stuff, yes, definitely that could rot your brain, so on and so forth. But like I'm saying, just generally speaking, I don't be out here thinking like Married with Children or you know, like what do you talk the Huxtables, the Cosbys or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the A-Team and shit. Like I don't think that shit is like what made me violent as a little boy. Like I don't think G.I. Joe was the reason I was out there in the streets fighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't think watching Boys in the Hood was the reason, you know, like I was allured, like I'm sorry, I was attracted to gangbanging. You know, like that wasn't it.
I mean, because if that's the case, if that made you do it, if that would have made you do it, then why did the young men in the 80s start wanting to be big time?
Yeah, from the 70s, none of that stuff was happening in the 70s. They wasn't singing about that stuff in the 70s.
Nobody was seeing that on TV. None of that was happening. So what made them want to do that? Right. So it's like you can't keep blaming everything on music and TV. Yep.
It's definitely like I was gonna say Married with Children, right? Like I grew up on Married with Children, but like the misogyny that the lessons I learned from in misogyny from Married with Children would have easily been mitigated and dispelled if at home it was addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like if at home my mom and my dad was like actively like modeling healthy relationships and be just having those discussions with me when I would say that, when I would make ignorant statements or whatever, just being like, why is that? Why is that only for girls? Oh, you don't ever want to get married. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like never having those, or just bringing it up, not even waiting until you had, just talking about it with your kids or whatever. Like that shit never would have been an issue for me if I was having those conversations consistently. Well, my parents with somebody, right? Somebody, but I wasn't. So in the absence of that, okay, cool. Yeah. TV can hurt you. Music can hurt you. But like I can listen to all the violent rap in the world. That shit don't do nothing to me. I'll be on my way. I used to be driving, pulling into my driveway of my, my 2-car garage house, like, like singing like the craziest rap lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit don't do nothing to me. I'm not out here like, oh man, I want to go do drugs. And like, no, I'm okay. That shit don't fuck with my brain at all. Like my brain is in that way is healthy and I don't need none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, if I was a wayward youth and nobody was paying attention to me, okay, I can see it having an effect on you. Right. But that wouldn't be the fault of the artist. That would be the fault of the parents, the community, and society writ large, not of the. I would never put the onus on like, you can't make that music. Like, why? That's crazy. We need to fix the actual problem.
I disagree with that. I think that we don't know how much is put into the media that we consume. Like it's very, very, very intentional with, and it has been like this for God even knows how long. The stuff that we see is very curated to us.
It is.
And it warps our mind in ways that we genuinely don't notice. Like you won't. It varies from person to person. Like you said, if you have a household, some people have households where you're not having them conversations. You listen to some music and they talking about pew pew and stuff up. You listen to the song, you bop to it, and you go on your way. Like you really, it doesn't mean absolutely anything to you. For some people who live in a household very similar to yours, they may not go that route. Like they may, they may go a completely different a completely different lane based on the music that they hear. Like one article I read talked about how these people, I can't remember what like village it was, but it was like a village in Africa that listened to a whole lot of Tupac, and they like started forming militias based on listening to Pac. And it was really weird to me because I'm like, who takes this that serious? Because I don't, I like listening to me some trap music. I like, you know what I mean? I like acting like a thug most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like it doesn't influence my mind that way. And I really couldn't process it until when I started my marketing program. It's this concept of psychographics and how a lot of media is pushed to us is based on, they go down to what we wear, types of glasses, types of socks we buy. Just all kind of stuff that they curate together to push out to us to influence our minds in ways that we don't even realize we're being influenced. That's why we talk about the algorithm so much. Like your algorithm is going to be completely different from mine because yours is probably going to have basketball. It's probably going to have some hip hop stuff on it. It's probably going to have some red pill stuff in there mixed in there. But mine is going to be cute babies and cats and cooking videos and, stuff about patriarchy. Like these things are very much tailored to us and they play with our minds so well that there are some people who very easily fall into that rabbit hole of doing a bunch of stuff that is really stupid and illogical based on the media that they consume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But even in your explanation, I don't think that, I think the part where I think what I'm saying is that I know that stuff can happen. I'm saying in a healthy environment, that stuff doesn't happen. Even in the, you know what I mean? Like even with the people forming the militia in Africa, right? In the African country, whatever country that was, I'm sure they were like very like depraved and like didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure it was like economically downtrodden. But in a healthy environment, that wouldn't happen. You could listen to Tupac and it's just like, hit them up, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and you just keep it pushing. But when it's unhealthy, yeah, the music is going to play a role. The same thing with spreading how the media spreads a certain image of black people, right, in this country. So if you don't know any better and you hear the things that the white controlled, media says about black people, I don't care if you black from another country, you will believe it when you come to this country about the black people in this country, right? That happens all the time. But that's because of their ignorance. They don't know no better. But if you sent them that same media to a group of people that actually were educated on what happened in America, they would watch it and not think anything of it. They would watch it and clock it. Actually, they'd be like, "Damn, why they keep showing black people pew-pewing everybody and shit like that?" They don't never. You see what I'm saying? But it's the lack of education that now they're ignorant. That's how these things fester. That's how these things grow. It's typically rooted in the ignorance. It's not just like it's not like you can take like what would otherwise be a healthy mind, sit them down, have them listen to a song or two or whatever their favorite artist, and now all of a sudden they turn violent. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't believe that is typical. I'm not saying it's never happened. I just don't.
The same does happen with somebody with a healthy mind, though. Like the absolute same thing happens with people who have the quote unquote, because a healthy mind is subjective. Like you can start off with the health. Most of us, truth be told, start off with a quote unquote healthy mind.
Okay.
Our experiences and the things that we go through, the things that we
So let's change it from healthy, right? Yep. I hear you. Not healthy, then an educated mind.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're all Like we're all still. This is why there's something very important about how you do this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The intent behind consistently learning and unlearning is probably the most important part. Because imagine if we've seen this in real time. Dudes who believe that they are cured, who believe that they are on the right side of the tracks and nobody needs, there's nothing wrong with them at all whatsoever. And those are the most impossible people to have conversations with. The reason why things work for you is because of the fact that you are constantly in a state of, I'm never going to be at a point where I'm unlearning, because I live in a society where everything has been, my maleness has been catered to 100% all around. Now, maybe my blackness has been, dabbling, but my maleness has always been catered to. So I got to constantly check myself, because it's very easy for me to fall into misogynistic ideas.
Mm-hmm.
People who are not aware of, like, I got to constantly be learning and unlearning, those are some dangerous people, because they feel like people who are centrist, people who feel like they don't have anything else to learn, they consume media that is very one-sided. And for sure, you can take a mind that is healthy, that has been planted with the right seeds, and it will turn left very, very fast. Like, unless they have like some form of an awakening. And I say this from my own experience. Like, we talked about this in the Discord a little bit earlier, but no, when I be telling people that I was like a hood girly, I mean that for real. Like, I mean consistently having to unlearn a whole bunch of bad habits, because I did not have a healthy environment growing up. But I had to awaken myself to the idea that, okay, you don't know everything. You don't got it, you don't got everything down pat. You have to consistently learn. There are people who have those healthy environments, who have had those seeds sown in them, and they think that what they see on movies and TV is a joke, and they dabble in it. And now they have literally been indoctrinated into the wrong side of history, based on not having the education, but not having a willingness to learn. So I mean, it's all subjective, obviously. But
And ask you something.
Go ahead, Cloud. Hold on, Gary.
Our backgrounds, because we pretty much got the same background, somewhat. We've had the conversation as far as our fathers.
Yep.
Knowing our backgrounds, right? How did we come out of that?
Luck.
A willingness to learn. Because if you think about it, we all come from completely different backgrounds. Like, seriously, we don't do the same things, we don't say the same things, but we always hear each other out.
Mm-hmm. I think the reason why I say luck, BBG.
So that's why I think what all three of us are saying, I think all of it plays a part in how people choose to do things, and that's why I kind of agree with both of y'all. But what Public was saying, when I took from what he said and what I said, was it's not solely on the music. A lot of people like to think it's spiritual, right?
Yeah.
But it's not solely on the music. Me coming from a father, patriarchy father, and me coming from a candy addict mother. How did I turn out to be? And I'm not saying perfect, but more
way better than them.
And not right. Like, how did I turn out that way? Because I've seen it where some people learn from what they see, and some people do what they see. So why does that happen?
So that's why I say luck, because a lot of the ways that I am, it's my, like, whatever you want to say, it's my epigenetics, it's my predisposition. A lot of it is, right? Because I shouldn't be like this. I should not be like this. And I am far from I'm fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I got issues still, but I shouldn't be like this though. You know what I mean? Like, I should be way more like male, like a typical male, whatever. Well, I think when we all got like a general idea, I definitely should be like that, but I'm not. Of course, you guys always hear me give credit to like my wife and, all these lessons and all of that stuff. But I'm saying a part of it is definitely like my genetics, my mental capacity, whatever, my intelligence, whatever. It's a combination of that stuff, which is just, I was fortunate. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said luck ultimately, because also I could give you a bunch of examples. Like I shouldn't be here. I've been pewed at. I didn't have people. Like there's a bunch of things where I'm like, I got lucky. Like there was no like odds are I shouldn't have made it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I just shouldn't have made it out. I told the story about how I was in the hood and there was this girl. She was grown, I think, but I was like a late. I was like 17, 16. I don't remember. I was like an older teen. She was like 1 or 2 years, 2 years older than me or something like that. Anyways, long story short, she had it. She had, speaking of HIV, she had HIV. I didn't know at the time. And she was fine. She was fine. It's like everybody wanted to sleep with her or whatever. And I had an opportunity to. And just for whatever reason, I just didn't. Like I just didn't sleep with her. Like it was no, like there was no, I wasn't like, there's something wrong. There was no like intuition or like, there was none of that stuff. I just like, the moment came and I was like, I'm good. And I didn't. And then I found out like however much time later, she wasn't telling people when she was out, she was giving it to dudes like intentionally. She knew at that time that she had it. She was actually my homegirl's cousin. Like that was, yeah, it was crazy. And she had got it from an older dude from my hood, like a gangbang dude, like an OG. He ended up being an OG now, but back then he was BG. And he was older. He was like in like probably late 20s, maybe. And we were teenagers. And he gave it to her. And then she was giving it to dudes. I saw her like with other dudes. Like after that, like I was like, man, that shit was crazy. But it could have easily been me. And it wasn't. I just got lucky. For whatever reason, don't know what the fuck it is. That's what I be. It's like some of the shit be chances. And some of the shit be, but to BPG's point, you do when the opportunities come, you gotta seize it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got, so when you do got a good person in your life, or you do got somebody that's trying to help you out, you got to listen to them. You got to make the decision to listen. You know what I mean? Like, so you definitely have to like actively participate in your own growth. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But on the flip side too, I do understand that a part of it is just, I'm just fortunate to a certain extent just to have this disposition naturally.
In public. Yeah, I'm older than you. You don't remember what life was like before hip hop. I do. Mm-hmm. I remember the worst thing they ever did was let hip hop go to the West Coast. Lord have mercy. Okay. Yes.
I'm about to get dropped.
No, fam. You don't know enough about the
music. Ever disrespect. Don't ever disrespect.
I'm sorry, fam. From the hearts and minds of Kool Herc and the Almighty Ruler Sham, we had hip hop on lock. Hip hop was education for us. Okay.
Don't you ever?
I'm sorry. I'm telling you the truth, man. Do you want to learn something or not, son? Okay.
Don't try to son me. This is crazy.
I'm older than you by at least a factor of 10. I could son you.
Nah, you can't. You got to know more than me to son me. I don't think you know more than me, but keep going.
I do know more than you. Certain the topics, my brother. Yes, I do.
Okay,
this is one of them. All right,
let's go.
All right. So when hip hop was created, hip hop was about education. All right. That's why we had a KRS. That's what
are the 5 pillars of hip hop?
There was no 5 pillars of hip hop. I'm sorry. No.
Got it.
Sorry. There was no 5.
No, already. No, already you don't know what you're talking about. But keep going.
I'm sorry. I was there in 1976.
I don't care when you was there. You don't know the 5 pillars of hip hop. I think that's odd for a person trying to educate me on hip hop. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. But I digress, my brother. When it left the Northeast, we noticed how it was deteriorating. And it was deteriorating the minds of people that was listening to it until you got out there. I mean, yeah, I'll give it to you. Dre did his thing with the DOC. Dre did his thing with NWA, but he did more harm than he did build up hip hop.
You sound like a hater.
No, I'm not.
What about Kool G? What about Kool G Rap? Wait, what about Kool G Rap? What was Kool G Rap doing?
You know what you think about Kool G Rap and DJ Polo? All right,
I just fucking mentioned him. I know who Kool J. I know Kool G Rap. Yeah, what was Kool G Rap talking about? What was the dude that
Road to the Riches? Yeah, and how he said now I don't do that. Instead of fights, I write rhymes instead of fights. Remember, it was always not.
Hey, I just want you to know, NWA told people to express themselves and don't drink and don't smoke weed. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, isn't that the same way they eat?
He said, I don't smoke weed or cess. Because that stuff would give a brother brain damage. And brain damage on a mic don't manage nothing. So what the fuck is you talking about? We was on that same type of time.
No, not all y'all, man. Ice-T was on that time, but not a lot of y'all, man.
Ice-T?
Ice-T, yes.
Ice-T was on that type of time.
OG, yes, Ice-T. Ice-T was educating people way
I heard it
before.
all.
I'm
That boy
sorry, man.
said
He
Dre
was from
was a
out
minute,
east.
but Ice-T was on that type of time.
Yeah.
I done heard everything I needed.
I mean, but to say that hip hop ruined the West Coast, let's be real. You said you just explained how hip hop came from the Northeast, and then when it made it its way to California, right? Those people were rapping about things that were already happening before hip hop made it to, or rap made it to the West Coast. So it wasn't like how you just scroll over all the other things that was happening before you got gangster rap. Gangster rap came out of what was actually happening in their neighborhoods. So it can't be the worst thing that ever happened to California.
NWA wasn't even gangster rap. I know they tried to call it. First of all,
yes,
you never heard a gang in gangster. You never heard NWA bang a set ever. They were.
That's true. That's
the
true.
only gang member in NWA was Eazy-E. The rest, Dre didn't bang, Cube didn't bang, Yella didn't bang, Ring didn't bang. Then none of the rest of them bang. Only.
In public, the only reason why Eazy-E was in the group is because he had the money to fund it.
Yeah, he was a hustler. Yeah, he was the hustler.
Exactly. He was the money for until they could sign their deal, but he was the money. That's the only reason why he was really there.
Saying, yeah, that's crazy, bro. I ain't about and Pac from the West Coast. You talking about E40? You disrespecting the whole. You tripping?
No,
you wild.
No, I'm sorry, right? You didn't get the word nigga until it left the Northeast, because we had what? Public Enemy. We had who? X-Clan. We had.
By the way, hold on. Speaking of that,
brother.
Hey, if y'all ever want to get a crash course in hotepery, listen to X-Clan, because that used to be my favorite group when I was 10 years old. X-Clan was my favorite. My two favorite groups was X-Clan and Arrested Development. That was all I listened to when I was 10 years old. So 92, I was listening to that shit. And I remember I was in the Bay and I saw it. That was when I saw Pac and Brenda Got a Baby came out. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, well, it was all right.
Then
you was in the Bay, then you had Paris out there too. All right.
No. I was from Long Beach. My dad lived in the Bay and I went to stay with him. And in the apartments we lived in, we was in I forgot the city. We wasn't in San Francisco though. We was like across the Bay. And Pac lived in the apartments we lived in. And I just saw him. I was taking out the trash and all the kids was running to this car. He had a Beamer. Kids was running to the car and shit. I was like, what the fuck y'all running for? They was like, that's Tupac. And I was like, what? And he drove up right next to me and like dapped everybody up. I had trash in my hand. I like slapped his hand and shit. I was like, oh shit, that's Pac. And I went and took out the trash. In Marin, exactly. Yep, he was in Marin. He was staying in some apartments. That shit was crazy. I'll never forget that shit. But anyways, you're not about to sit here.
But anyway, I don't mean to shit on the West Coast like that, but
yeah, you did.
A lot of us from the Northeast really say that when hip hop left the North, that's when it started to deteriorate, mutate.
Nah.
And then you get trap music.
You can't say that because again, hip hop was formed from people telling stories about what they were going through in life. So
no, hip hop was formed from the almighty ruler, Herc. The almighty Flash and Cool Herc. That's where I was formed.
We're talking about what was going on.
When y'all had it, they were talking about 2 years ago. A friend of mine told me to kick these funky rhymes, and I ripped these rhymes. That's what
I'm
y'all
sorry,
was on.
brother.
It was trash, nigga.
No, brother. We was on the treacherous. No, brother. I'm sorry. We was on the treacherous 3. No, brother. We was on the treacherous 3. We was on Just Ice. We was on
I smelled your feet over the phone. Then I had to grab the microphone to kick this funky rap right here. Your big and smell like beer. I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. That shit was trash. When it got on the West Coast, we took it and we did what we had to do to it. We
storytelling.
We had storytelling. What do you think Slick Rick was doing? What do you think Slick Rick was doing? That was telling stories. You just said Kool G Rap. He was telling stories.
I love this rap through osmosis, and your breath got halitosis. We in the crew after dark.
That's the 70s. That's the 70s.
Nah, that was the 80s.
No, it's not, man. That was the 80s. I mean,
That was
that
the
was the 70s. No, it wasn't, brother, because in the 80s you had the Treacherous Three. You had a lot of other groups coming out there in the 80s, and even it was some kid named LL Cool J. So yeah, that was the
That was late
80s.
80s. Yeah, that was late 80s.
All
88.
right, so I was there.
Me too.
No,
I heard
brother.
it.
Trying to
No,
say,
brother, you wasn't there.
trying to say that it was so much different. It's just people telling their stories of where they from. Because again, they were talking about when he said, "Don't push me, I'm close to the edge."
That was my favorite
whole
rap song.
That whole song was talking about how they were living and what was going on in New York, right? So
I
again,
feel you. Right.
when rap made it to the West Coast, they had game.
Hey, hold on.
They had that going on. They had the rock era, so that's what they were talking about.
Yeah,
They
hey,
were telling the stories.
hey, I ain't gonna even hold you. That was fun. But I already can see where this go. I could do this shit all day. I don't even want to talk about it no more. But just know you was wrong for saying the West Coast fucked up hip hop. That was highly disrespectful. Like that was crazy. That was
wrong out loud. He was wrong in all caps. And like the craziest part about it is just like Dab just said, these people started speaking about communities that had already been ravaged. You think that West Coast hip hop was worse than actual like candy people was like, you know what I mean? Putting in their veins? That's absolutely, that's insanity. Like that's crazy. And the best part about the video for that Don't Push Me, song was that he was walking through slums.
Oh, he was in the hood. Oh, he was in the real hood.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
he was in the Bronx. He was.
Hey,
in the Bronx.
I ain't gonna even hold you. He got. I've been fighting.
Grandmaster Melly Mel.
Yeah, Melly Mel. I'll fight anybody on this. I think that's the best rap song ever made. And and he might have the second best rap song ever made, which is White Lines. Them like my two favorite. I don't know what the fuck. Don't get no. If you was gonna send like what is hip hop in a capsule to like some aliens or something, like somebody that never been to Earth, and you was like, explain hip hop to them. I would send them. What's the name of the song? They got a dope ass name, so I don't know why I got a brain fart right now. But yeah, the Melly Mel. So I would send them that song. I would be like, this is literally hip hop. This is all the messaging. The bars is vicious, like everything. That shit is a perfect song. I ain't gonna even hold you. I love that song. But
secondly, my brother, right? About changing about changing minds. Okay. I've seen that firsthand. When you go into the military, they change you into a killer. They have to. Everybody has to be on the same page. Okay. And the same way the military does that, you see gangs do that too. I mean, they don't have the same tools. Actually, they do use the same tools. They use camaraderie. They use family the same way the military do.
Okay.
I'm not sure where he's going with that.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
They use a lack of resources as well, but and that's why they target the people that they target. But also don't say Smeller on live, please. Say on a liver.
Please. On TikTok, you gotta watch out how you be talking because they be.
I apologize.
No, you good. That's what I'm saying. I know on YouTube they be saying other shit. Ain't the name of the song called The Junk? Nah, it's like a junk. I know the whole song by verbatim. I just can't think of the name.
Are you talking about The Message?
The Message. That's the name of the song. I knew it had a dope ass name. That shit is called The Message, man. Yeah, that's the best hip hop song ever. But anyways,
I want you know the name DPG because I always just say don't push me.
Nah, I know.
That's why I'm like, I had to think about it myself. Like, wait a minute, what song are we talking? And then I thought about it. Like, no, that's not The Message.
Yeah,
like,
The Message. That shit is that shit is crazy. But hey, Gary, I'm gonna ask you the question, brother. What do women owe men in a relationship?
It depends because we don't go into relationships looking at the same thing. See, first of all, people go at relationships as if it's a partnership, brother. Relationships are not a partnership, never has been, because everybody brings different things. Everybody has different strengths. So relationships more like a team, right, brother?
That's a partnership.
No, it's not. It's a team. And with every team, you got role players and franchise players. And role players have to do some things that the franchise players won't do.
No, that's not.
Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
not. No.
You and your wife don't play the same role. One of y'all's a franchise player. Is it you? Or is it her? Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's wicked. Nah.
Yes.
That's not the goal of a that's not a healthy relationship.
But that's how it breaks down, regardless of what the goal is or not. That's how it breaks down.
I'm speaking on the goal of a healthy relationship. There shouldn't be a franchise player in the relationship.
There's always a franchise player. That's how humans interact. Everybody's not going to be the dominant human. So one human always placates, always gives. That's how relationships are. Yes.
No.
Sometimes it's
Gary.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
I'm not married.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been married in what? 7 years. But when I was married 25.
So you was married 25 and your relationship ended. Now, granted, I got 8 years to go. I ain't gonna even. I got 8 years to go.
Okay.
But I don't think my relationship is gonna end because I don't have that mindset. I think that mindset might have contributed to the demise of your relationship. But for me, I know that I'm not gonna live in that world of like there's a franchise player and I'm a role player or vice versa, which I don't mind playing a role. I think a relationship like this, we're both role players.
You can't be, because the relationship was set its fall.
Why?
Because it's not how it's set up. Remember when you said that your wife came to you and asked you to stop spending so much money because you didn't know that you guys was really hitting the budget? That's something a franchise player does. Role players play their role.
What does a franchise player do?
A franchise player, depending on what the team/relationship needs, okay? Sometimes the franchise player has to be a CFO. Sometimes the franchise player has to be a disciplinarian. Sometimes the franchise player has to be a therapist, depending on what that team/relationship
So you saying a woman is a franchise player?
Don't necessarily have to be. Anybody that has the primary power of bringing their relationship forth, dragging their relationship along, is the franchise player.
So the woman.
And for you, yeah.
For most, we talking for most people, it would be the woman, right? The person you're describing sounds like the woman to me.
A franchise player can leave their team and start another franchise anywhere they go.
Definitely a woman then.
Okay.
Definitely. if everything you saying sound like the woman, but yeah, that's why relationships is failing, because we treat women like franchise players. Whereas we should men, first of all, if women are franchise players, that's fine. But men don't even be role players. That's the problem. We don't even play our role. We don't even play our position. That's the problem.
That's because everybody don't know their position. Everybody don't know their role.
Here we go, Gary.
I'm sorry, man. Look, you asked the question, brother.
Here we go.
Do you all realize do y'all talk to each other at all? Does anyone tell you that y'all are saying the same things? Like, there's rarely any new perspectives on this stuff. Y'all are saying the same things and reassigning definitions to words, and none of it makes sense. Rarely does it make any sense.
At the end of the day gonna end, because this shit is confusing.
Because I don't watch sports. Okay, so the franchise player is... Clear me up.
LeBron.
The one that, okay, so he's the one that gets
Embiid,
right? Okay. Mm-hmm. But then he has a coach, right?
Yep, he got a coach. Mm-hmm. And an owner. Wait, BBG. And an owner.
Okay.
And a president, and like it's a bunch of people over him. But keep going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I like that, because y'all don't be realizing that this hierarchy that y'all set up has multiple people above you within the relationship that you're in. When you make these really strange comparisons to relationships like franchise players and who running the show and blah, blah, blah. The franchise player ain't even running the show.
Sure not.
He's not running the show. He's not making the final decision. So who are y'all consulting when y'all having these relationships? If you're the franchise player and your wife is whatever that is under you, because like I said, I don't watch sports. I don't know what comes underneath the franchise player. I'm assuming the other players.
Role players, yeah. There's like a two player. But with his description, Men would actually be the franchise player because franchise players are typically like prima donnas. They expect, certain privileges and perks over everybody. The women would be like the GM. They would be the person that's like making, movement, doing all the moving parts and, you know what I'm saying? And doing all of that stuff, watching the budget and all of that shit. That's what the GM does. Like,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense because, for one, franchise players don't last forever.
But, shit.
Because LeBron, I don't care how good he play. I don't care how much people like the family. I don't care how much people watch the game.
How fine Savannah is. Mm-hmm.
LeBron is going.
Don't fit. Anytime LeBron come up, I'm gonna mention Savannah.
And you should, because I would too. She is fine as hell. However, that man gonna get old. That team he's not going to be the franchise player forever. The dudes who was the top man, I remember, it's funny because the only thing I really remember about sports is being in Detroit in 2005 when the Pistons were literally just like dominating every which way. And I remember everybody being like so excited, and on the streets you would hear people yelling Detroit basketball and all of this other stuff. But then I remembered that there was a shift. And people literally forgot. Most people don't even mention the Pistons when it comes to basketball anymore because they suck. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. Shit. Why do y'all compare y'all relationships to this? You're trying to figure out why you ain't married no more, and you're trying to get to the bottom of why you don't have a franchise player anymore, and not realizing that you have an owner, you have a GM, you have a coach, and truth be told, it's not even that woman. It's patriarchy, it's sexism, it's misogyny, and they are controlling you and they are manipulating you and they are cheating you out of partnership, somebody that you work with and not somebody that you are above.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, BPG, when he brought that up, you see, I turned my camera on. I was looking crazy because I watch football and I watch sports. So I was like, wait a minute, what? The who? Because like you just said, the franchise player can easily be dismissed. And I know Public and whoever else is into football can tell you Deshaun Watson was supposed to be a franchise player.
Mm-hmm.
He was overrated.
Today, that's non-existent.
No. Yeah. Because he ain't
no longer what they would consider a franchise player, but that's what he was supposed to be.
They paid him like one.
Gone.
And that makes sense because in the same way that athletes, and I had this happen to somebody personally that I know, in the same way that athletes become nearly impossible, especially if you're a top tier athlete, become nearly impossible when they get an injury because they can't play the sport anymore. A lot of these dudes, they rely on their kids to keep them afloat and keep them sort of on the team, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
And once those kids are gone, it's literally like a sports injury. Like they knee go out or they tear their ACL or whatever, and now they are not valuable to the team and they get kicked off. Nobody, and they ain't paying for nothing. No medical, no nothing. You are just off the team. You are gone for good once you are not usable anymore. And too many men are comfortable with being okay with being used by women because they think that they the franchise player. Meanwhile, your knee about to go out and you about to be off the whole doggone team. And you don't even notice because you so busy being struck by your own ego that you don't realize that this lady is the game is ending.
To your analogy to what you just said, and like Public said, there's people above you. And the person I just named, he didn't get hurt. He just didn't do what they wanted him to do in the way that he wanted them to do it. So, bam, it's gone. Like Public said, it's people above you that still make the decisions.
Oh, he was definitely he didn't get hurt, but that boy was wilding. That boy, the homie said that they need to let Deshaun get back to them, go back to them massage parlors.
They wrong for that.
That's what the homie told me the other day. He was like, man, they need to let Deshaun get back to the massage parlors, man. That boy, him head all messed up. But nah, yeah, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Sports analogy is gonna be the death of men. At the end of the day, like we gotta stop that shit. We gotta do something. I don't know. We gotta petition to make it illegal for men to use sport. You know what, Gary?
Well,
men,
I just got a new team.
Retire. I would be look. I think I'm fairly decent at analogies. right? I think I'm like a B plus. I was a rapper, you know what I'm saying? So I'm decent with analogy. But man, the average man, bro, y'all are terrible with analogies. Like, cause you never think the whole thing through. And like BBG just highlighted, it's like it's so many other moving parts to it that you didn't think. You just thought franchise, but you thought that ate, and it's like that didn't eat the way you thought it did. It
But
actually
see, like
was
I counter you with when I'm a franchise player on my team. My team runs where as though I made more money. I brought in more resources. So that combined with how we got to the position we are was directly because of me. So I like to look at myself as a franchise player. Now, I'm sorry, man.
You got fired.
No, I left. No, I got another team. Just like LeBron James said, I'm taking my talent somewhere else. Like Paul George, he took his talents to Philadelphia. I took my talent somewhere else.
They let you. They let you. They let you walk. They let you walk because they didn't care. So either way, they didn't fight for you.
Tomato.
There was no contract.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, family. It sound like you. I like that you use franchise. I think that your analogy works out great, but just not the way that you tried to set it up the first time. I think it works out great. I do think that men see themselves as a franchise player. Like I said, prima donnas. You know what I'm saying? They peacock all the time. I make all the money. Oh, look at all that shit. Whole time the owner really. The owner get more money than them. You know what I mean? Like, and they got
public. Here go the same public. Here go the same public. When I was in Philadelphia, I had a certain lifestyle. The key that I like to look at myself is that I could pick myself from there, take myself anywhere, and recreate and maintain that same exact lifestyle no matter where I am. That, in my opinion, is the mark of a franchise player.
But sir, you said you traded teams, but you're still not married. So clearly that didn't work out for you either.
No, I don't want to be married. Ma'am. God is my witness. God is my witness. This is the best thing that could ever happen. I want all men to come here. I don't want to be married. I'm living great.
Down there buying vagina. Go ahead, Onyx.
No, I don't buy vagina. Look,
come on, man. You ain't got it. Hey, man, it ain't nobody, brother. This is small.
Brother.
This is a small live, bro. It's only about 600 people between these two lives. You can tell us you be buying for even $40.
Brother, I don't have to. Do you know why I don't have to? Do you know why? Excuse me?
Why don't you have to?
Because I don't have to. Because A, they throw themselves upon you around here.
Interesting.
Trust me, it's yes.
Is it because they like you, or because you're a constant source of benefit for them financially?
It's a saying down here at the government told us they do it because the pesos say so.
Say it again. Peso.
They do it because the peso say so.
So it's the money, yeah. You be throwing around that money. So when I said you be paying for it, you said
I don't have to pay for it. No, I don't. But then again, right when I really examine it, we all pay for it one way or another. So okay.
There he goes. Now you got to rationalize it.
Again with the redefining.
What are the pesos for if you're not paying for it?
And how did he we can't go scroll over the fact that he said they throw themselves at them, but they mad at American women for being free with themselves, but you okay with other women throwing themselves at you?
That part.
Well, see, I don't.
How many pesos you be giving them?
Okay. We can have sex with 4 women for about 8,000 pesos.
Which is like what, $40?
About 55 rounding. Yeah. No, about like 80.
So they throwing vagina at you for $55.
No. Listen to me. I said it's levels to this, right? That's where it starts. You can do that if that's what you into.
If you were in America, you would be on a red box with little colorful flavored cereal in different designs on the bottom of it with a little bowl of milk.
With some long bunny rabbit ears.
He's telling us that he would rather pay $40 for it than actually pay what American women want. There's no difference.
Oh, he said 8,000. Callie said 8,000 pesos is 400 USD. Damn, bro.
So y'all would pay $400 for it instead of just taking a motherfucker out to dinner?
I said twins.
Oh, they said 200. Oh no, they said 4,000. Oh yeah, 4,200. Okay. So
I said twins.
So you be buying a vagina?
No, I don't.
And here's the thing, you do though. But here's the thing though. I can't believe.
Whoa. You just can't say that. You just can't say that without any proof. So, but anyway, huh?
You just told us you be buying it.
Because I know what the prices is. You better know what the going price is, correct?
Sir, you just told us you spent $100 a woman. Now, because inflation, because it was $40 10 years ago, it's $100 now. I got you. Okay. So you spending $100 per woman. That's okay. You a trick. And you like it down there because you be tricky, because tricking is cheap down there.
No, they make it so that it's the national pastime.
Tricking is the national pastime.
Yes, they tax our prostitution here. Yes.
See, it sounds really odd for a person that don't trick to be using this type of language.
Because if I'm here, I need to know what the infrastructure is like. Correct?
Infrastructure.
Okay.
That's the word for Elmo.
We need to know what prostitution look like just to live somewhere. Like, come on now. We being real with ourselves.
Well, sometimes prostitution look like a marriage certificate, don't it?
No.
No.
No, a marriage certificate is like a marriage certificate.
Okay.
How is that? Wait, how is prostitution like a marriage certificate? Can you expound on that?
Okay.
How is it?
In certain cultures, you cannot have sex until you get married. So they have a half-hour marriage license, like over in the Middle East, so that you can have sex with somebody and still maintain. I'm sorry, you can have relations with somebody and still maintain the veil of legality. So yes. Anyway, to answer.
But how does that make it like a marriage license? Because it's not though. You still married, right?
When for the duration until you do what you do, and then once you leave the hotel, it's invalidated.
Well, tell them y'all be telling on y'all. So you marry somebody just to sleep with them. So again,
that's how we're working in the Middle East, miss. I don't write the rules. Welcome to the global society.
Hold on. Men who think like this is the problem. Like, you literally just told us that you would marry somebody just for the cat.
No, I never said I would marry somebody just for cat. But in order to obtain cat in certain areas of the planet, that's the process.
But for you to equate marriage and
marriage and prostitution, it's all transactional. It's all transactional.
No, it's not transactional in that part. You just think like that.
Okay, good luck with that. But it's all transactional. Let me ask you something. Are you married, ma'am?
No, I'm not, and I'm glad I'm
not. All right, fine. Hey, public.
Mm-hmm.
If you was living in the box, do you think that you would have your son now? I don't think so. All right.
What does that mean?
That means that
in the box who have kids. So what's your point?
Yeah, I wouldn't have my son because I would give my son to my wife. But
no, I don't think that your wife would have met you. I don't think she would have even entertained you.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, but again, there's people living in the box that has kids. Men and so what is your point? Every woman is not marrying or dating a man just because he got the money.
And a great personality only take you so far, miss.
Yeah, but nobody
takes you so far though. I want y'all to stop snitching on yourselves because y'all say these things as if they are normal, and I think that you think they're normal because it's your personal experience, so you can't think beyond. You can't think in a broader perspective because it hasn't worked for you, so it must not work for anybody else. Some people actually do have great personalities, and that is enough. Now, granted, that's probably paired with other things because of the fact that those people who have great personalities usually have goals. They usually have other things that they're doing that pairs with that great personality. Because you don't have a great personality, you think that for everybody else that they paying for Smex, or they getting married so that they can have access to Smex, or they going to, where did he say he was? DR? To get access to Smex. But there are some dudes who really have wives and families, and them ladies don't mind giving up vagina at the end of the night because he actually does have a great personality. Like, that's, you ain't got to pay for it.
Yeah. Some dudes be getting hunched off their personalities, brother. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, family.
And can I point out he never actually answered your question when you said, what do women owe us in a relationship? He never actually answered that question.
That is true. What do women owe us in a relationship, brother? Gary?
Nobody owes anything.
So women don't owe us anything, men don't owe women anything in a relationship.
No,
Why
because
get in
the
a
same
relationship?
because the same door that let you in is the same door that let me out, correct? So when if you say I spent X amount of years here in this relationship, it's no casting prizes for me and it's no casting prizes for her. We just walked away. Nobody owes anybody anything.
Yeah, man. I'm not.
You don't ever talk and just feel people get physically tired as you say things.
That's crazy. What is that? How does that not? What? How do you not owe? Go ahead, Onyx.
I'm sorry. So by that logic, if no one owes anyone anything, you're literally paying for Smex in a foreign land. These women aren't offering themselves to you.
No, they're not.
So like your logic isn't, it doesn't make sense. These women are offering themselves to you based on attraction or based on your personality or based on your physicality. But yet you're saying no one owes anyone anything, but you're paying for physical relations.
Which means he owed her money. She
Can I counter you? Because they don't look at relationships down here the same way that you look at relationships in America, right?
Bullshit.
No, they don't.
It's transactional because they know you and other men like you, Pookies and Ray Rays, are going to go there and pay for it and thereby fund their BBLs and their plastic surgery.
No, I live here. I own
They know
businesses.
it's transactional because they know you're going to pay for it. They'd be crazy not to pass. They'd be crazy to pass the funds up or the money.
So
you just contradicted yourself is the point I'm making to you.
I wanna I gotta read this. I want to read this. Tawana Christian said, "This dude sounds like and probably looks like Miss Netta." Come on, man. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
We seen Gary Cam up.
but for him to say that they don't look at relationships like we do in America, I'm with you, public.
No.
They
don't. They don't.
Because in my mind, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm imagining denim shorts with the polo tucked in, long socks, and wide hips.
I don't do the wide hips.
Big on the wide hips.
Hey Gary, so you be paying for that? So you be paying for that vagina down there, and you like it in DR because you still got because you older. See when men get older, I believe like 50-something-year-old men with ED. I think I could see.
I don't have ED, fam.
Okay, I'm sorry. My fault. So you ain't never had to. So no wait. So you never.
He didn't want you to.
What'd you say?
I just want to say now he didn't want you to say he has ED, but he was okay with saying he paid for vagina. Like what?
I mean, if he ain't.
Excellent point.
I'm just saying.
I've confirmed the wide hips too.
I'm just saying, bro, because I think the reason why I think ED and paying for vagina on a consistent basis go hand in hand is because you can control it. Like if it's your wife, you don't know. Like tonight could be the night, tomorrow could be the night. Like you don't know, right? But when you pay for it, you like Thursday night, I'm hunching, and you take your Cialis at like 4 p.m. and by 9 or 10 p.m. you hunching. You know what I'm saying? Or before you go to the brothel.
Here's where you're wrong.
A pocket full of blue juice.
Here's where you're wrong, brother. May I counter you, brother? Okay. Because I'm not in a relation, because I don't have a wife, don't mean I'm not in a relationship. And I'm in a relationship with Americans, Dominicans, and Haitians. Okay. Secondly, all right, I do not have
3 women's lives.
No, the American women here have more money than I do by at least a factor of 5. I mean, these American women down. No, but because they're millionaires. They're millionaires. No, I am an expat, silly. These women are millionaires. I live in Navy Town. Excuse you. Oh boy. Anyway, yes, they are well-to-do.
But you ain't hunching on none of that American. But you're not getting no American vagina, huh?
Yeah, if I wanted it, it's out here.
Nah, that's how you avoid. Look, normally you be about right here when you be talking, but right now you went up to her like, yeah, that's if I wanted it. Normally you be right here with it.
Ever since you said he had ED, his voice got high pitched. You ain't know that. He didn't argue nothing down you said, but as soon as you said ED, he lost it.
Hey, somebody in the comments said ED is way less embarrassing than paying for vagina, and I agree.
Say that again.
ED is way less embarrassing than paying for vagina.
Not if you're a passport bro.
I'm not a passport bro. I live here, sis. I live here. This is my home.
Do you have a passport?
Of course I do. I had one when I was in the service.
Okay.
Are you a brother?
Are you a brother down there paying for vagina?
I'm a brother down here. I'm a brother down here getting the short stretch like a lot of other brothers down here.
Paying for vagina.
Were you in the military?
He was.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I heard that. Okay.
Yeah. I live in Navy Town.
You love that shit.
Yes, I do.
You know this or not, but that's all the demographics of a passport bro.
Yeah, you fit the perfect mold of a passport bro.
Well, somebody that served this country, somebody that was honorably discharged, somebody that travels abroad, somebody that sees other cultures, or somebody that hangs out with their expat brothers and sisters. Help me out with that.
Somebody that paid $100 a pop for vagina.
Yeah.
Okay.
In another country.
Someone that probably would not have done so well socially in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Because it's too expensive.
Okay, then that means that the prices are out of whack with the market then, correct?
No, because
that means you just admitted it.
This shit crazy, man.
Gotcha, bitch.
Damn, dude.
No,
don't never commit no crimes with Gary. He gonna tell everything.
No.
Get a lawyer, sir.
Think about it. No, sir. Think about it. If $100 is to be complained about, that means that the prices are out of whack.
Oh gosh.
That boy Gary looked at them American prices. when the vagina menu came out, he poured his glasses down. I mean, said,
yeah, because there's certain prices you don't pay for over
50.
Sorry?
He said 450.
Tell me to move the Navy Town.
He said for how many hours? Not even all day. Oh. Put his glasses back up and packed his bags and went down to DR where he could pay 4,000 pesos a romp. That's good. Hey.
Said, fuck it, just pull it in my hand. That's hilarious.
Pulled out a pocket full of money after negotiating with them poor girls to get them down to $78. And then pulled out a wad of money. Oh man!
You realize that the prices are set by the government in certain areas, right? Oh no, you wouldn't know that, but the prices are set by the local government in certain areas.
I believe it, but you've been paying for it, Gary. The whole funny thing about this is now we got to the point where you have admitted pretty much that you be paying for vagina. But it started off with you saying you don't. They just be falling on you, which none of us believe. And now it's because you're 52 years old. Ain't nobody falling over no 52-year-old man.
I'm trying to figure out how he's telling us all of this. I live in the city, and we know that there's candy everywhere, but I don't know the going prices of this shit.
Okay, let me ask you something.
The prices is set by the local drug dealers. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I ain't about to do that shit. Well, all right, go ahead, ask us, Gary.
Okay, so I don't know what city you live in, but possibly, transportation, dinner, after dinner entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That for two people, that's going to run about, I don't know, what, $800, depending on your local municipality.
$80? That's way more than that.
Oh, okay, fine. So how is that a good return on investment as opposed to somebody, I don't know, flying down, just cutting right through
Candace
the chase?
Candace said, what is Kamala gonna do about the price of vagina in America?
I don't know. That's not my problem. Hold on,
but Gary, hold on, man. The rate of return is I don't pay for dates and expect to get vagina. So
okay.
the return
I have
is
higher expectations than you, brother.
No, they're not higher, they're lower. Your expectations are low.
That's a higher expectation that you pay for dinner. You think you're supposed to get it?
Yeah, those are low expectations. That's low vibrational shit. So yeah, I've never bought a woman dinner with the expectation that she owed me vagina afterwards. That's crazy. That's wild. Like, I don't even understand that shit. Y'all be wanting women to be SW so bad. Y'all want them to be sex workers so bad. Like, just regular women.
And it's because it's transactional, because they know that when it comes to SWs, that once they have paid for a service,
you pay for her to leave.
Is in quote unquote in charge of that woman. They know that if she does not follow through transaction, that there will be some form of punishment because of that.
You said you pay for her to leave?
Yes.
As if she would want to stay around you.
Well, more than likely, I have air conditioning, food, and fresh water. Yeah.
You gotta pay for me.
Hey Sean put $5 on Gary C. Alice fund.
No, I don't need it. Thank you.
Yeah, because you off them rhino packs. You off them hymns? Which one you off? Blue Chews, hymns, rhinos,
honey packets.
Them honey packs. How many honey packs you take?
It's different in the Dominican Republic.
But how many honey packs do you take?
I don't take honey packs.
So Blue Chews. How many Blue Chews do you take?
I thought we had this conversation, brother. I said I'm not there yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, brother. I hope you working out.
So I'm curious.
No, we're not.
I'm sorry,
So you telling me you got energy for four women for $100?
No.
Hell no.
I was using that as an example. Okay. I have a lot of friends that come down. I'll get some girls. 4 girls, be a couple thousand pesos. Go ahead, entertain yourselves.
Oh, you be buying vagina for your homeboys.
They're from the States. They lose their mind when they come here.
Are these friends married? Some of them.
Some of them.
Mm-hmm. You seem like the type.
Yeah, you been straight snitch, and it's gonna come for you.
No, I didn't name names. Well, those that know me know if your wife is a size 18 or size 16, you know who I'm talking about.
What's wrong with a size 16? It depends on the shape.
Again, they know who I'm talking about.
You don't like size 16s?
No. I'm not married to it. They came down here, talked all about how they hate being married to it. So that's why we got to where we got to.
Do you think you have an uncommon voice? Why do you think they're not gonna know? I know what my husband's friends sound like. Like, why do y'all think that? I don't understand.
Because I don't think they're listening to this
about-
YouTube station.
Well, no,
That's why.
I was very right about the honey pack thing because I feel like it's something be happening and it goes into your brains because people can recognize you by your voice. And like if you, for one, I think it's very questionable your own integrity. And it's not even because of the SWs that you buying and pretending like you don't. But why are you participating in your friends who are married coming down and doing dishonest things and they're married? Why is that okay?
Because he don't care.
That's true. That's explaining a whole lot about how he ended up getting traded.
Mm-hmm. Walking away from the team that didn't want him to begin with. Gary, when you left, was it like a you can't fire me, I quit situation?
No.
Hmm.
No. I just sat down and said, you know, obviously we're going in two separate directions. It's been 22 years. Kids grown. All right, let's go.
And she was like, bet.
But yeah.
See?
That lady, I promise you, that lady was waiting for you to have that conversation. She had her bags at the door. Quitting, and again, I don't know a whole lot about sports, but quitting the Timberwolves has got to be like the most entertaining thing I've heard. Like y'all always talk about these terrible relationships that truthfully y'all made terrible. Like,
remember
you made it terrible.
Hey, remember in the Wiz when Mike met up with Diana and and they started dancing down and ease on down. That's how his wife left out the door. Guaranteed.
Literally, for sure. She called her homegirls like, girl, I ain't even have to tell him.
He told me.
She was texting the chat in the car like, girl, where we at?
What was the name?
I didn't have to say nothing.
BPG, what was the name of that song that he was singing? Didn't he say, what's the name of the song? How did that song go, BP?
Oh, you talking about You Can't Win, the Michael Jackson song? Yep.
She was good to go. She started singing that song like, right, let's go.
So did.
She agreed readily. She was packed up.
That's crazy.
Hey, when he started talking, he couldn't even get out the words. He said, "You want a divorce?"
I had a job one time I was working for, and I'm not lying. The manager pulled me into the office or whatever, and was like, "Hey, you're really great. We kept you on, as long as because it was a seasonal job. We kept you on, longer than anybody else because you worked really hard, blah blah blah. But we're gonna have to let you go." Now the craziest part about that is I was literally about to quit anyway. Like that day I was going to quit, and I was like, "Well, okay." And he was like, I thought you would be way more upset." And I was like, "Oh no, I was about to quit anyway because I have a couple film jobs coming up and it's gonna conflict with my schedule." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, do you want to stay for the rest of the day or what do you want to do?" Now, granted, I don't think that Gary was that calm when that lady quit. I don't think that he was that calm. He said he fired her, but I think she quit. But I don't think that he was.
May I please interject? No,
y'all quit each other.
Her. I left, and I told her that I think that we're going in two different directions. That your growth and my growth is taking us left and right. So it's been a great 22 years. We raised a great son, and see you at my funeral.
Why do you think she's gonna come to your funeral?
Well, she doesn't have to.
She gonna come to your funeral to piss on your grave for sure.
If you didn't have whatever money that you think you have, do you think you would be able to secure those women in the DR?
Well, see, if I didn't have the funds that I had, I couldn't even come here. If I didn't have my career, I couldn't maintain my lifestyle here like I did in Philadelphia. If I didn't, so one is built upon the other.
That ain't what I asked you. I said, do you think if you didn't have the funds, would you be able to get that?
If I didn't have the funds, I would be like every other Dominican or Haitian brother I see walking up and down the street. But I'm not.
Hey, you fucking it up, Philly, man. You know what dude? You ever listen to that? Even though what we do is wrong. That's a Philly anthem, right? You know that?
No, it's not.
Wow.
The Philly anthem is "My Part of Town" by Tough Crew.
I didn't say it's the Philly anthem. I said that's a Philly anthem.
I'm not familiar with that.
You not familiar with Freeway?
I'm not familiar
know
with
what
that
you
being
do
a
is
Philly
wrong?
anthem. I'm not familiar with that being a Philly anthem.
Oh, you
Not
a
Freeway.
goddamn lie.
But you be up here entertaining these frauds.
That boy don't know. Hey man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't like Eminem, but if you said that Eminem was associated with Detroit, surely I'ma agree.
100%. Even though what we do is wrong, I think it might be the Philly anthem, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not from Philly, but I would say outside of Philly, that's the Philly anthem. I don't know about in Philly. Y'all could have a different anthem, but when I think of Philly, that's my anthem for Philly. that's my anthem, but I could be wrong. Either that or what's the song that the nigga Rocky was running to?
Oh, yeah.
Going to fly
on
now.
feet.
You're going to fly
Take
now.
my time, take my chances.
Tiger.
It's either even though what we do is wrong or Eye of the Tiger. Them the only two shit y'all got.
Wow. That means that you know nothing about Philadelphia, because
Well,
if you say Philadelphia, then the Philly anthem is definitely PSK, or like I said, Tough Crew, My Part of Town, when you could have pulled out Beanie Siegel.
Dreams and Nightmares is number 3. Dreams and Nightmares is in number 3. That's crazy. That's wicked work, man. Hey, that's crazy. Okay. Well,
That's why I honestly, I almost want to befriend that lady, because I've been unimpressed and frustrated for 20 minutes. I can't imagine what that is like to be running in these circles like this for 20 years. I'm exhausted after these 20 little minutes.
Hey man, people.
Can't imagine.
Hey man, people in the comments saying the Fresh Prince theme song was the
No, for sure. That nigga's definitely over there getting jiggy with it.
And they said the Fresh Prince theme song was the Philly anthem.
For sure.
I ain't gonna never disrespect Philly like that. That's crazy. Oh my goodness.
She clocked out a long time ago.
Damn.
Doing her thing too.
All right, man. Hey, somebody got a lot of background noise. I think that might be you, BPG.
No, that's not me.
Or is that you, Gary?
No, I muted myself.
What is that? Somebody got hella background noise.
Onyx.
Might have been Onyx. Damn. All right, man. Hey.
Ooh.
Damn. That was crazy. Okay. All right, Gary. We can't get a straight answer out of the boys, man. We only had 2 dudes come up here and try. Gary the Sleazer Geezer. Oh man.
You know what? It's really strange. Like, when men have options and move in a different way, y'all always throw rocks and stones at these gentlemen. I don't understand why.
You do not have options. You have coins.
If your
I'm sorry,
option
say
is
that again?
if your option is a sex robot or a goddamn SW, you ain't got no options, sir.
I said, sir, you don't have options. You have coins.
Yeah, but paying for vagina is not an option. That means you don't have an option if you paying
Then
for vagina.
didn't we just establish that men pay for it one way or another? You might as
No,
well get it all out.
you established that. I never agreed to that bullshit.
The only thing that you said was that you pay for it one way or the other. Not that all men do that.
I don't.
It's not an option for all men.
I've never. I don't look at me taking a woman out on a date as me paying for vagina, because, in all honesty, especially back when I was dating, I didn't have to take women out to get that anyways. But so if I took them out, I really wanted to just take them out on a date.
He just told us he don't have a personality without the coin.
It's crazy.
I believe that. I definitely believe that. For sure.
Actually,
Onyx, you ain't got no.
look up.
all your bars is red.
And the fact,
Onyx, all your bars is red. We can't see
God,
nothing.
dog. Okay, hang on.
Yeah. He not being honest. He not being honest, Balance. He been lying to us this whole time. We had to get this shit up out of this mug. Like we was interrogating him for a crime. He was like, well, maybe, but no, but it ain't. No, I pay more than 40. I pay 100. Oops. I mean 800. Oops. I mean, like, he been lying this whole time, being evasive this whole time. Just admit it. You be paying for vagina. It's legal out there, apparently, according to you.
It's legal in most parts of the world.
Even the other gentleman on the live ain't said nothing. He like, I don't want no parts of this.
Oh, I don't even know my guy up here. Hold on, where he at? Dennis, you still up here? He been that'd be crazy. He been muted this whole time. He forgot he was on the live.
He was right in the comments a little while ago.
Oh, okay. That'd be crazy. I just never dropped it.
Gary give me Team Jordan vibes.
Oh, Gary definitely rock Team Jordan.
I Team Jordan.
Definitely.
The only man wears some doggone K-Swiss.
He definitely got some Spizikes.
Oh.
Definitely. The red, black, and green ones. No doubt about it. Hey, hey, Gary, you a wild boy though, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Make sure you keep that your prescription filled. Yeah, man. Good luck. And wrap it up, man. I would hate for you to get something at 52 years old. That's kind of crazy.
Trust me, I would too. It's not like seeing a 65-year-old with herpes.
Damn.
Yeah,
them old people. Them old people.
It's vicious. It's vicious.
STDs that the old folks home.
It's vicious. It's vicious.
What up, Dennis?
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, I've been here just listening in the background. Also I got a call, so I guess I can mute my mic in the background. But yeah, I've been listening to the conversation. Very interesting, I'll say.
Very interesting.
I said you didn't want no parts of this. You was like, let me just stay on mute.
Yeah. You were like,
no, I mean, I just couldn't identify with what the other guy was saying. So I mean, it's no point in me commenting on something I don't identify with.
So you can't identify with paying for vagina in another country?
Definitely not.
Bet. Do you feel like when you take a woman out on a date that you paying for vagina?
No. I think honestly, it depends on where you sit economically, right? So I think it matters more when you don't have disposable income. So like if you're spending $200, $300, $400 on a date, that matters to somebody who's less, economically stable versus like someone who has more disposable income to spend. So for me, it doesn't. I don't feel like it's a investment, nor do I need to get something specifically out of it. I feel like as a man, you should not be wanting to have sex with every woman that you take on a date anyway. You just getting to know this person. You're trying to figure out who this person is and if they're even somebody that you want to have in your life. So no.
I guess
if your money is not economically sound, why would you be spending $400 on a meal anyway? If it meant that much to you, why would you spend that? Knowing you ain't got it.
I mean, I would definitely agree, but I think it just depends on like what city you live in.
Nah, fam. Nah, not what city you live in. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in New York, man. You take a Uber, you might be spending $20 to $50 to get somewhere.
Then you don't need to be taking an Uber to go see her if it's that much and you ain't got it. Like, we need to start telling men that.
How much is the metro? How much is the metro, brother?
I'm just speaking generally speaking.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general. We have to start telling people, stop doing things that you know you can't afford and then expecting something out of it. Because that's literally what you just said. You said because these men know that they really can't afford it, so when they spend it, they expect something from it. That's literally what you just said.
No, yeah, I mean, like I definitely agree. I mean, like that's why I made the point. I'm just saying, I'm one of the men of the camp. Hey, if your stuff is not together, you shouldn't even be thinking about taking a woman out on a date.
I disagree, but yeah, I think people should be dating if they got the personality to date. You should date if you got the personality to date. That's my.
Why is it?
spending $50, spending $100, spending $200-$300 on a date with somebody you actually want to go on a date with is never gonna feel like a loss because you actually want to go somewhere with that person. Like that's the whole point. It's the same thing for marriage. Like y'all see marriage the way you do because you're not marrying people that you actually like and you want to spend your life with. Like so, it's always gonna seem like you're waiting for a return on investment because you haven't met a person that is the person is the investment. Like that once they have decided like, hey, I'm gonna be in a relationship with you, you're gonna be in a relationship with me, we winning because I like you. I want to be around you. I love you. I appreciate you.
Can I ask you something?
And I like doing things for you. Y'all keep
May I
moving.
ask you something?
You don't like.
Hold on, Gary. Go. All right, go ask the question, Gary.
Okay, and that sounds great. But what if, that was great, then, but as you go further, you evolve, you become a different person, they become a different person. And the things that was great back in, I don't know, 1998, you've changed, so you evolved. So now what? I
What did
mean,
you change to?
people change to different people. Sometimes people change into a totally different person that they would not even date it.
A worse person?
It doesn't have to be worse. It's got to be different. Let's say that you were just, somebody that just came out of high school, got married, and then, 5 years later, you went to college. Then you got your degree. She got her degree, but then you went on and got your master's. You are a different person now.
Why?
You
Because you got a
evolved.
master's degree?
Because you've been exposed to different people. You run in different circles.
You got more experiences.
No.
Thank you.
How are you? How are y'all?
Y'all trying to make this. Go ahead, Public. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just. How are y'all having these situations without the person in your life? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you're running in different circles?
That changed you that drastically.
Yeah, like what?
So basically, what they saying is, this is what I'm taking. You married that person off of surface level BS and not the person, because in life everything changes. So if you decide 10 years now she ain't the person you married 10 years ago, of course she's not going to be that person because she changes. And if you go into marriage knowing that things and people will change based on circumstances in life, you wouldn't be so quick to leave just because they change. Y'all not even taking the time to figure out why they change. That's
What if you don't like who they changed to? What if they don't like who you changed to?
But why wouldn't
why
you?
did they change though?
Yeah, like what do you mean? Like
Because people evolve. Nobody stays the same.
I don't know about that one.
Right, but they don't just change into horrible people just because. That's what me and Public are
You
saying.
don't have to be a horrible person, sis. You could just be a different person. You could be a cool person.
I'm not leaving my wife, but I'm not leaving my wife because she changed into a different person.
Okay, well maybe she might leave you because she changed into a different person.
But that's what I'm. Why would?
That's my point. You didn't like that lady. That's what that is. Y'all don't like those ladies. Like right. That's what the root of that is.
My wife is different.
To change, you didn't like her because that was already there.
Yeah, and my wife is my wife is different than what she was like when I met her when she was 19 years old, 20 years old. Yeah, she's different. The shit she laugh at ain't the same, but I'm different too. I grew up to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? But I'll tell you where she's the same. Her integrity is the same. Her empathy is the same. Her intelligence is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like all that's the same. She's kind. She's still generous.
Fair enough. You guys, fair enough. So, you guys grew.
If she tomorrow, hold on, Gary. So tomorrow, if she stopped liking something that her and I like, we watch. If she didn't want to watch TV with me anymore, I wouldn't divorce her. You see what I'm saying? If my wife was like, I don't like any of the shows you like. I like my shows and I'm going to watch my shows. That's fine. I'll probably just watch her shows with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to divorce my wife. Like, you leave the person for if they become a worse person, not just a different person. Because we're always growing. But a worse person, absolutely. Yeah, leave them.
Public, basically what he's trying to say is she was a size 10 when he met her, and now she's a size 18. she changed. It's surface level, like I said. You married her
No,
for surface level.
no,
BS.
no,
And
that's
then
not what I'm saying.
because of life, you ready to leave her.
So you didn't like, so it would have nothing to do with her physical.
No, When my son got to be 16, I knew that I was going to leave when he graduated high school. So I made plans for that.
Why?
Why?
Why
Why
did
I
you
made
want to leave
plans for
her?
that?
No, why did you want to leave her? What was
Because
she
we weren't
asking you to do that you weren't willing to do?
we were going in different directions.
I know. What was she asking you to do that you weren't accepting?
She
What
wasn't
was she
asking me to
asking
do
you to
anything.
change about yourself?
She,
Gary,
she wasn't asking me to change anything.
or she
No, she wasn't. I just sat back. I'll tell you when this happened, man. We was having a party and everybody was around, and all of our friends came over, and I just sat back and I watched her move, and I was like, 22 years, it it ain't going nowhere else but down.
why not? Because she was fat?
No, I kept telling you she didn't have a weight problem.
Well, you
It's
said
just
you
that
watched her move, so I didn't know. Was
no,
she
watched her
she
move.
couldn't
I
twerk or
watched her
something?
interact. I watched her interact. I watched her grow. She watched me grow. Every 3 years, I'm taking a course. She never took a course. She was fine just being the same person she was.
Okay. So you were growing and she wasn't. So
No,
that's
she
what I'm
wasn't.
saying.
But that's what I was trying to say. Everybody evolves differently, and
But
so I
she
was
didn't
evolving.
evolve, Gary. She didn't. That's what you're saying. You evolved. She didn't. She stayed the same. So you wanted to leave her. That actually would make sense. If you became a better person, a more educated person, whatever, you know what I'm saying, a more well-rounded person, and she just remained the same, fine. That's fair. I have a hard time believing that.
He lied.
I know.
Why am I? Excuse you. Why am I lying?
Because you said that the reasoning was that people change, that people become different, that they
People evolve. Evolution takes different forms.
They evolve and they progress and they switch up. What you meant to say is that you changed. You were different. She remained the same. She remained constant. But you changed and then you wanted to switch up.
You wanted to go chase tail in DR.
No. Once I realized what my move was going to be.
You asked me why did I say you was lying? I said you was lying because you clearly just gave us this scenario. Family came over, you watched how she moved, and you just said, you know what? I'm leaving. I planned this when my son was 16. And then you go to the DR and chase cat. You just wanted to have fun and do what you wanted to do. And that's simple. Just say that. You didn't even give us a legit reason of what she did. You just watched her move around the family. Huh? She been doing that for 22 years. You just wanted to go chase and get away with doing it. That's it.
I'm happy that woman free.
Because he wasted 2 extra years of her time. Because you knew, if you knew at 6, you said you wasn't leaving until your son graduated from high school. Which let's assume that he was 18 when he graduated
18.
from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at 16, you knew you wanted to leave that lady. You wasted her time, your son's time, and your time for 2 extra years on a relationship that you obviously had no intention of putting any effort into. So it doesn't sound like that was a her thing. That for sure sounds like that was a you thing.
Yeah, I just want to know one thing, because you said she wasn't growing, like you were getting all these certifications and degrees or whatever it was, and she was still staying the same. So, like, what did you put anything in place so that she would be able to pursue the same things you did and still like keep up with the family? Because a lot of times I feel like men will say that, but they'll leave out the fact that like she couldn't.
I counter you, man.
Hold on, Gary. Can she finish before you counter? I'm gonna let you respond. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. It's not a counter. I'm asking you a question. I want you to be able to answer. Sometimes it's like she couldn't because you were the one in class or taking classes or getting promotions or doing whatever it was that you were doing. And while you were doing that, she was the one that was taking care of the house and the kids and everything else to make that possible for you. Was there ever a time where you made that possible for her?
You're absolutely
he used
right.
that
Excuse
word
me.
too much.
You are absolutely right, because when the first time I went back to school, my son was 3 and she was taking care of him. So by the time I got out when he was 6, I had asked her, you know, come on, you might as well do it now. She's like, I don't like school. This is not what I do. I'm okay doing what I'm doing. Okay. That was when he was 6, right? I came back at her again when he was about 10. I'm like, don't you want to go back for the specialized training? It's a spot open at your job as a supervisor. No, you fine doing that? Great. So I kind of knew.
So in other words, you mad at that woman for being hurt because the key word in what you just said is she said, I don't like going to school. So you already knew that she didn't want to pursue school anymore. But because you wanted her to, now she has to. You wanted her to do something that she didn't want to do. And because she didn't do it, now you saying, I'm leaving. Listen to what you're saying. You're still wanting her to do something you want her to do, not what she wants to do. So she wasn't a bad wife. She wasn't a bad mother. She just didn't do what you wanted her to do.
Yeah.
I didn't say you said that. I'm just telling you all of the things of what you're saying.
Okay.
You literally you didn't have
Gary,
a legit reason other than she didn't do what you wanted her to do.
Gary, were you and your wife still hunching?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of answered the question, but you didn't. You said you asked her hey, do you want to do this? But it didn't answer the question of what did you actually put in place to make that easier for her? Because I mean, somebody can come to me right now and say, hey, you want to go back and get your law degree? Sure. But what are they going to do to help make that possible for me?
And then I'm going to answer you with this. When I came back to her, when our son was 9, I was like, you can go. I got him because he's 9 years old. Any aftercare I was paying for everything anyway. So just go ahead. She's like school. She doesn't want to do that extra training.
How were you paying for everything when she was working?
I made twice as much as she did. Her money stayed for her. Her money went for clothes. My money went for bills. My money paid the car.
I hate when y'all come up here lying, man.
Excuse, I'm sorry. I
hate when y'all come up here lying.
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm sorry.
And Shan pointed out something that you completely missed. You don't realize that lady was actually keeping you afloat for quite some time. Clothes is a bill. Clothes is a bill. Laundry detergent is a bill. When she is buying stuff for your son, that's a bill. Those are things that you have to pay consistently because you're not going outside naked, thank God. But those are bills that have to consistently be paid. If she has to work, because whatever money that you have is going specifically towards those larger bills, a car payment, all of that stuff, which is once in a month bills, not to add. Now, I don't know how it was set up for you. I'm pretty sure you're a 6-figure man. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you make 6 figures.
Old military, probably, yeah, for sure.
For sure. Good old military boy for sure was making them 6 figures. Mm-hmm. If you are making enough to cover bills and the extra expenses, why was she working at all? Because she has
I had asked her not to work if that's what she wanted to do. I had asked her when we had got married.
Wait. Hold on. Real quick. Nah. Fuck that. You just said to us, you wanted her to go back to school because there was a supervisor position open at her job.
Yes.
While now saying you also didn't want her to work to begin with. So why the fuck did you care what she was doing with her career, Gary?
So you won't ask her to get a certification for a job that she wasn't going to be able to work.
Gary, why would you care?
Because I thought it would make her a more rounded individual.
All right.
She was already rounded.
No, she wasn't rounded. She's a high school grad.
That's
not rounded.
She was already, that's as rounded as she wanted to be. That was her desire for herself.
Gary, what happened is you married her on the premise that she would get to be a stay-at-home housewife. And under this traditional promise of you being a protector and provider and her being a stay-at-home wife. And then she conceded when you decided you didn't want that anymore, and she decided to go work and get a job to appease you. But then you wanted her to do more and more and more and more of something.
No, that's not true. That's not true. When I was living on the boat, she was working at the same job. When I came home and I was working for the Naval Inventory Control Point, she was still working at the same job. She didn't get a raise. She wasn't a supervisor. She wasn't a shift lead. She was just the same employee X in cubicle 4.
Gary, she didn't have to work, according to you.
You told her she didn't have to work.
No, she didn't have to work. She worked because she wanted to work.
That's my point.
You're contradicting yourself.
So how do we go from you don't have to work, you can work when you want to work, to you're not getting enough degrees and certifications for me? How do we jump to that?
Because if you're going to work, goddamn it, be the best. I mean, you just said,
oh man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Listen, I told y'all he just wanted to go do what he wanted to do. That woman,
Gary, tell the truth. You wanted to go to DR to get some strange vagina.
I didn't have to go all the way to DR to get some strange vagina. I could went to Brooklyn for that.
Like you said, hold on, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, Vivid. You said that when your son was 3, you asked her. She said no.
Yes, no. And then I asked her again.
Said no. Let me finish, Gary. Let me finish. Because at the end of the day, when your son was 3, she said no to it. When your son was 9, she said no to it. And you still waited until that baby was 18 years old before you left that woman alone. You knew 3 years in that she didn't want what you wanted. And then you knew 9 years in that she still did not want what you wanted. And you still wasted 9 more years of her life after that.
No, I stayed for my son.
Oh, please.
I promise you your son is fine. I promise you.
I stayed for my son. I didn't want my son.
Telling yourself that lie. Why will we not acknowledge that you being in the military and gone probably most of that boy's life, that woman had to take care of the house, keep herself mentally, keep that child mentally, move whenever you and your dadgum government decided to up and move. Like, you're adding on more and more pressure to her. Like, caring for a house, period, is mentally hard. Being married to a military man, I couldn't imagine. That's like 8th level of hell. Like, you did not consider none of those. Then also you stayed so you could avoid, let's be honest, child support. You played in that woman's face. You wasted her time. You got the labor that you could from her, and then you threw her away when the time was ripe and good for you to do.
Why could? Because you knew if you divorced that lady when that baby was 3 or 9, that whatever military money, it was going to be divided up for that kid. Like, you knew that for sure. You knew that. And you knew that her working part-time, you knew that her working part-time, you knew that her working a job where she didn't have more certifications, or, you know, she didn't have, she didn't pursue upper mobility, meant that you were her primary source of income. Because you were her primary source of income, you would have had to pay for that baby, and you would have had to pay for that lady. And there was no way in hell you was going to do that, because remember, you're saving your money to go to DR to pay for $400 or 8,000 pesos for vagina. So that's what you didn't want to spend that money. That's what that is. And you thought that we wasn't going to notice that, because that lady was, everything about her sounds consistent. At 3, she said no. At 9, she said no. Then at 16, she said no. The only thing that changed was that you decided to marry her. And at 3, you wanted her to be somebody different. And then at 9, you wanted her to be somebody different. At 16, you decided you wanted to be married to her, but you still stayed. The problem is in the room with us.
And BPG, let's be honest. He didn't just wait until he divorced her to go play in the DR. All the while he was traveling as a military man, he was playing.
That's a fact.
So again, that's why bro. You literally just came up here and told on yourself. Like, you've been snitching the whole time you've been up here, but I guess you thought you was in a room full of.
He was staying for his son. No, you stayed for that child support. You didn't want to pay it.
I think, but
you left right at 18.
But let's also think about it, though. If he was active military and he so-called told that woman that she could go back to school, who was keeping that baby? That's another lie you done told us.
He said he was going to keep him. No, Vivi. He said he was going to keep him at 9.
He
But he was still active military while his son was
No, I was not.
Why did you? But you asked her to do it. Hold on, wait.
Neglect him because he can go to the bathroom by himself.
Wait, but you asked her to do it at 3 too.
Yeah.
When the son was 3. Were you active military when your son was 3?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. So yeah, family. That's
for a long time.
Yeah, you was inactive for.
Right, when was you active military doing this?
I'm sorry. Say that again, ladies. No, I was active in the 80s and 90s.
No, never mind.
But your son only 16. You've been married to your wife for 22. You was married to her for 22 years, right?
Yeah.
You said you've been 7 years not married, so that's 29 years ago. So 29 years total. How old are you now? 50 something?
55.
55. So 29. So you were 29. So you were 26 when you met your wife?
How old was I, man?
He said 52 earlier.
No, I think I said 52.
Okay.
I was yeah.
Was a high school sweetheart.
Yep, you're right.
So did you not marry her?
Hold on, wait.
Go to the military after high school?
This wasn't in high school. This is your high school sweetheart?
No,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you was 26 when you met your wife.
Right. I was already in the service.
And then you had your son. How old is your son now? 25?
23.
23. Okay. But you said you got divorced when he was 18 though.
No. I left her when he turned 18.
Yeah, so 7 years from 18, he would be 25.
He's not 25. He's 23.
Okay, so your math is
So
off
it's been
somewhere.
5. Yeah. So it's been 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yes.
But you was with. So wait a minute, because you said the son's 23.
Yes.
So that means he was born in 2001.
No, he was born
you
2000.
Was
No, he was born November 2000.
Like 29 years ago, which would be 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So you were with her from 1995 to 2000 without a kid.
Right.
I'm assuming in perfect bliss. Then the baby comes, and 3 years into the baby coming, now you want her to go to work. You want her to
Well,
go to
see,
school.
like 1995, I was on a boat. I was coming to Philly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was spending so many months on the boat. Then I come to Philly. Then
Why weren't you asking her then if she wanted to go to school? Why y'all had 5 years without a kid? Why didn't you know then? Like, that didn't bother you 8 years later. That's not.
So it sounds like you changed and you fucked it up.
now that you really say it,
Nigga.
I did change. Yeah. I mean, as you get training, as you go forward, I guess you will change. I said that, right?
Hey man.
I said that I evolved.
And your lies got exposed. That's exactly what you dadgum get. Stop coming up on dadgum Beyonce's interwebs. Lying. You talk too much. That's another thing about a man who talks too much. Y'all ran out of stuff to talk about and you get to lying. You are such a liar, Gary. You need to hang your head.
Hey, hold on. Allison said, black people. For real.
I told you that earlier. If he was willing to waste our time for 20, 30 minutes, you can imagine that wasting somebody's time for 20 years was a no-brainer. Like, that was so frustrating.
But I did indicate that I had changed because I was going to class.
Hold on, Gary. Go ahead, Shane.
What I will say about a lot of these traditional men, that's one part that isn't wrong. They will sell these traditional women a whole bunch of fairy tales about how he wants to be the protector provider. She don't have to work. He'll take care of everything, blah, blah, blah. And then they get with them, life and kids start coming, and they start looking at them women like, oh, you're not pulling your weight. I'm not about to be financing your whole life. Like, once the initial lure of all of that, it sounds good. Once that wears off after the first couple years, when they get done playing Leave It to Beaver, they want that woman to go get a job. They want her to go get some educate. They want all the stuff they said they hated women for. They're going to be looking at her like, why you don't have none of that?
Facts.
Hold
on, y'all.
Own traditional lie.
Hold on. Vaughn. Barely. You gonna have to speak up. I need you to fix that mic. It's real low. Get that mic situation situated. Go ahead, Vivid. I just wanted to see. Vaughn, when you get ready, you can come back. Go ahead, Vivid.
No, I was just saying that these men that spout all, they want a traditional wife, they want a traditional wife, they get resentful of the woman actually wanting you to deliver what you say. You Negroes, I call myself y'all are just modern men. You got resentful of that lie of being a traditional man, and you played in that woman's face.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I think even our granddaddies and shit was resentful of our grandmamas, but the grandmamas couldn't, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times they didn't really have no options.
Yeah, that's why they be up and leaving, getting a girlfriend on the other side of town.
Motherfucking ties.
Kids. Like my grandpa was a piece of crap.
Mine too.
My grandma could have whooped his tail. And them 10 kids.
Yeah.
Can we ask Gary how old was she when he married her?
How old was your wife when you married her, Gary?
30.
And you were 20. She was older than you?
Yep.
Yeah. Vaughn, is your mic good yet, brother? Vaughn, is your mic straight? That's a crazy picture. I ain't gonna even hold you. You either a coach or a criminal. Maybe both.
I'm so proud of being jailbirds.
Can I say for the record that I don't believe that lady was 30? And if she was, that is some crazy sick work.
I don't believe nothing Gary told us right now, BPG.
Yeah. To believe that lady was 30, that she only had a high school diploma and had no ambition to even get a managerial position at her job, and he still married her. And 5 years after that, which means she was 35 when she had that baby.
She's 35, yes, she was.
He started asking her to pursue her career at 38.
38.
Wow. Yeah, that actually makes more sense because I get why she would be like, nigga, for what?
She's stuck in her ways. It don't make sense for him because he was younger than her. He said he was in the military for quite some time by that time. So you know when you met that lady, like leave that alone.
I feel like him targeting that type of woman with that mental
targeting that type of woman? Why can't we just meet?
Targeted that type of woman.
It low-key do seem like you targeted her.
Later on.
It definitely seems like you targeted that woman. Like she was undereducated. Like that's how you paint the picture to me. She sounded like an undereducated,
No, she's basic. She's a basic Philadelphian. That's, high school, work, all right.
And you a basic Philadelphian too. And all you did was go to the military. Like, be for real. Don't insult that lady now.
That woman raised your baby, and you wanted to have a baby with a basic Philadelphian woman.
And kept your home for all these years. Bow your head. You talking real greasy about that lady.
Y'all will say anything about these people after you.
I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, you are.
How?
You say terrible things about this woman.
No, I didn't. I didn't say she was a bad human. I said that's basic Philadelphian.
Well, you doing the same thing. You just went and sold your soul to the man.
Hey, I know.
I invested
in myself. His old ass on his head. I know that. I know somebody called my mama a basic Long Beach woman. I scoop and score. Definitely.
If it was true.
How old you is? You can
if it was true.
That's crazy.
If it was true.
Why would I think that was true about my own mama?
That's because the mother of your child. She couldn't have been too basic. So your child basic? Did she raise him to be basic too?
I raised him.
No, you did, nigga. Hey, bro, you did not. Now I know you a motherfucking lie.
Exactly. You was talking about I was on the boat for 6 months, and then I came back and went to the boat.
While you were in school working a full-time job, you was raising that baby.
I don't mean like that, but he has more of my attributes and influence on him. I'm not saying I did it by myself. I'm not even going to sit here and say that. But I was the more impactful parent because I
Nah,
told you I
you just
wanted to
a
be the.
man. You
I'm
just a
sorry?
man and he a boy. You just a man and he a boy. That's it.
Would you call her basic in his face?
No.
Because your son would drop you on your head.
That's what I'm saying, Shan. I'm saying if my daddy said that about my mama, he got to get beat up. Like, that's for real. I'll be like, what?
My son is 4 and he gonna go across your head.
Like, who you calling basic?
He ain't got that great of a relationship with his kid. Like, let's be honest, that boy is estranged from his daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Gary in the DR because folks in the States is tired of him.
Damn. Not that you definitely, your theme song definitely is West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days.
On the boat is where he spent most of his days.
Chilling out, relaxing, all cool.
The point that men don't care about degrees because Gary gonna leave you after 22 years over it.
Mm.
Gary is a liar.
He wanted a traditional. He wanted a traditional, submissive, basic. What did you want, Gary? What kind of woman did you want? What the fuck did you want?
Honestly, I didn't know. And that was the step. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I knew that I was on a boat. I wanted to, go out with a pretty girl. She was nice looking.
That wasn't no girl. Based on attraction. She married that woman based on attraction. We know.
The way that y'all be talking about these military careers that y'all willing to sacrifice over somebody that's attractive is crazy. That's absolutely.
Y'all would never care. If y'all ever catch me with somebody in the military, call the police because I'm there against my will.
I'm gonna shake you for real.
Call the police.
Because I done heard about
give me that hand signal.
They are the most diabolical.
That boat activity is top tier. That boat activity is top tier.
I don't care anybody in the military. You won't find it. I'm not doing it.
They do not be
I am there against my will.
A banger. It's all gangs to me. Pass on all of them, honey.
Damn, Gary. I hope that woman living her best life. I hope she free as a fucking bird.
Got some alimony out you.
I'm glad she far. I'm glad she far away from you, so you can't torment her no more.
No, for sure. Her and the son be sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, prepping the greens, talking about him.
Mm-hmm. You talk to your dad. You talk to your daddy lately. You talk to your daddy lately, Gary Jr.
What he
don't
doing?
talk to him.
He like, nah.
No, talk.
He like, nah. He over there paying for cat mama.
He tried to get me out there. He tried to get me out there and buy me some vagina. I told him, nah, Dad. I'm better than that.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. He came and you paid for it?
No, he came. He brought up my granddaughter, and that was good.
Oh, he got a baby already?
Yeah.
How old is your granddaughter?
6 months.
Gary, please.
Y'all know numbers be whooping Gary's tail. Quit playing, Bob.
He said 6 months.
He
Baby
brought
only
the
6
grandbaby
months.
to the DR and she only 6 months?
Where was the baby mama at? He bought the baby mama too.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Not at 6 months. The lie.
Because,
Why
that's 6
y'all
months.
assuming that's a baby mama?
No. That 6 months is telling a whole lot. Because you're taking a 6-month-old to the DR. How many of them shots did she have to have in order for her to be able
All
to
of
go
them.
over there at that small of an age?
Hey,
She had to get, because how long would they have stayed?
They stayed 2 weeks.
I was gonna say 2 weeks in my head. Hey, Gary, hold on.
Baby mama in DR. Oh Lord, plot twist.
No, she's a nice lady.
They married?
I want you to be quiet, Gary.
They married,
Just
Gary?
be quiet.
Yes.
They married?
Yeah.
Your son went to college too, right?
No.
So
Son, basic boy.
hold on. I got it. I'm sorry. So you apply all this pressure on your damn near 40-year-old wife to go to college, but you didn't make sure your 20-year-old baby boy didn't go to college?
I
Your
know.
only son?
I know. It is what it is. What you want me to do, man?
But I thought you raised him. If you hold on, y'all. If you raised him and you wanted her to have all these degrees and certifications, I'm with public. Why wouldn't you want that for your own son?
I wanted it. I wanted that for him. I wanted that for him. I really, truly wanted that for him. But that's not the path he took. So.
But you his son, though. I mean, you his father.
Yeah, but I can't make him do it.
I mean,
but you said you had all this influence.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of can. Like, and I don't mean that you ain't even got a strong arm in, but you kind of could make your son go to college, though. Like, you kind of could do that. That's kind of easy.
This is where his mother won, and she was like, he's not.
You want to blame this woman?
Yeah, because she's like, he's not college material. Unfortunately, he is what he is. And so I'm like, okay.
College material? Because you kind of do have to get in.
You go to city.
You still got to get in.
You go to city, you going to get in. You go to city for a year or two, you going to get in the freaking university. Like, that shit almost guaranteed.
He trying to blame her and say she turned him basic.
No.
That's why I asked, was he basic?
Yeah. Nah, even basic people, trust me, I know basic people that went to college and got got a couple degrees, actually. Basic. Like, college is not, like, come on. I respect it, but come on, man. Like,
no, right. I'm not saying that's basic either. I'm just using his terminology.
No,
like,
I'm saying, unless, did he have a learning? They even make concessions for people with learning disabilities in college. So, did he have a learning disability? Like, well, why didn't he go to college?
I don't know. He just didn't want to go.
But you had influence. You couldn't influence him to go to college. What was you telling him when he was?
I tried. I begged him. I tried to bribe him. I tried to threaten him. Nothing worked.
Gary,
Mr. Gary, listen. You said you just sit up here and told us the whole going rate of Cat in the DR, but you can't tell us why your son didn't want to go to college.
Yeah, he didn't want to go. What? I mean,
and he wanted to get a girl pregnant when he was 22 years old.
Obviously, he did things I didn't want him to do, but
you didn't inquire any further as a dad, as the father.
I'm trying really hard not to judge this guy. I'm trying.
You know what?
I'm trying so hard, Gary. I swear to God, I'm really trying hard not to put.
If I brought that up, right, that would be a bang of contention for him, right? So I didn't want to start a fight. All right, no, I didn't want to start a fight. No, I'm not happy that he decided to make a baby instead of make grades. But at the end of the day, my hands are tied. So what you want me to do?
Kowtow to your son and gave him what that man grace, but you on the interweb talking greasy about your wife and your son did the same thing. I feel like you checked out on that boy too.
I'm definitely more disappointed in your son not going to college versus your wife.
And you really
definitely
to go to college. You checked out on your family, homie.
No, I didn't check out on him. I was right there when he was walking down the aisle. I was there every minute of the day.
Ain't no way you was involved in that. See what I'm saying? You gonna have me really pulling that? Like, bro, come on, man. I'm sorry.
So, do you know why your son was supposed to get married at 20? What? I guess
22.
When did he get married? 21 or 23?
22.
22.
He got married at 22. So you didn't have that conversation with your child either?
Yeah, I first when he told me who he was going to move in with, I'm like, why are you doing that? And
he in the military too?
No.
Oh.
No, I wanted him to go so bad. I tried.
What do you do, Gary? What does he do?
He's just a regular guy. You know what? He's just a regular Amazon worker. And that's
you definitely influenced
y'all don't deserve to have kids. Y'all don't be deserving to have. I don't be understanding. Y'all be up here on this. I want to establish my legacy shit.
Gary, that's basic junior.
Like y'all crazy. Some of y'all don't need to have kids, man. Cause that's crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry, basic junior.
That's crazy.
Your son did everybody. Your son definitely learned from you. He knew he did not want to be nothing like you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Yeah, you so crazy. But seriously, Gary, your son probably smarter than you. He didn't want to do nothing you did. He looked at how you lived your life and how you are currently living your life. And he said, you know what? My daddy living in a dirty country buying cheap poom poom. I don't want what he doing. I don't care what daddy. Daddy went to the military. He wasn't never there. I'm not going to the military. Daddy went and got his degree and he treated my mama funny. I don't want to do what my daddy doing. Yeah, you influenced that boy, all right. He don't want to do nothing you did. So if he gonna be a basic Amazon,
But everything I did was successful. Think about that.
Except for raise your damn kids.
Oh, and I counted you. I raised him well. He ate. He finished high school. He had clothing and he had shelter and he wasn't abused. So I don't know what you want.
He said my son finished high school and ate food, so I did a good job. Boy, if you don't get the fuck, hey, this is hold on, y'all.
As opposed to when men don't do that.
Hold on, Gary, this for you. Hey man, you and your son, the whole goddamn after school special. Nigga said he learned it by watching you. Come on, Gary.
So, Gary, do you think you're not basic or regular? What do you consider yourself? Because you didn't call your wife, your ex-wife, basic and your son regular. So, what do you consider yourself to be?
Regular, dagular.
Well, when I look at myself, I look at men in my age range, and I look at men that graduated when I graduated, in the zip code I graduated. I'm not the average. So, yeah, I don't look at myself.
You are, because all of y'all abandoned y'all sons.
What do you mean abandon our sons? My son was raised in the same residence I was raised in. Excuse you.
I'm sorry, my fault. Neglected. You abandoned him now until you moved to DR. But your son, I would never leave my sons.
Well, at some point, my son is a man now, and men have to go their own way.
That's still my son. I'm never leaving my babies.
Okay.
Never. I'm like, y'all remember the I'm old. Y'all remember the Cabbage Patch Kid? I'm sorry, My Buddy. Remember My Buddy?
Yeah.
Wherever I go, that's me. That's me and I'm there. Like, and I'm not even overbearing or nothing like that. But I'm with
you look like that's not my buddy. That's the thing with two heads, public.
Mr. Gary, how long you been in the DR?
Too long.
What is this? 2024? Since 2021.
Damn.
So, in other words, you really missed a lot of your adult son's adulthood already.
No, it wasn't a lot going on there.
What? Why how would you know you was in another country? Like, listen to what you're saying. You left. You bounced.
Let me read these super chats, y'all. Nia X said Gary is repulsive. Dainty Doe said, please ask Gary, what did he love about her to make him marry her? What did you love about your wife to marry her?
Okay. I love the plain and simple fact that her whole goal from the time she opened her eyes was how to make our relationship better. That's what I really liked about it.
But you divorced her for not going to school. What?
No, you asked. I told you.
So you
her number one goal from the time she opened up her eyes in the morning to the time she closed them. Yeah, sure I did. She was She was earthy. She has values. She's honest, church going, God fearing woman. Yeah.
Osa said, so a loser. Got it. Oh man. Yasmin said, how did you raise him but he did nothing you said?
I didn't do a lot of things my parents said either. If I did, I'd have been a cop.
You damn near a cop. You was a. Never mind.
Basically telling us that she had more influence over him than you did. Why you just
that's what it turns out to be. She has way more influence over him than I did, because he basically mirrored her life.
She was there though, Gary. But that's because she was there more. So clearly you didn't influence his life. She did.
But that's not what he just said, Dad. He said when I asked, because he said his wife was basic, his ex-wife, and I said, well, did she raise your son to be basic? Because she raised him. He said, no, I raised him. He got more of my qualities. I had more influence over him.
Oh, he did. No, he did, Shane.
He's saying the exact opposite.
Because his son, because his son is hard-headed like he.
Yes, he has more of my attributes. Yes, he does.
Yeah, the lack of success. Because the crazy
But
part
I said that's just him being a man.
But it's the lack of success. Like all of the things that he sees within his son for sure reflects within himself. Like for 1,000%. Because and especially with traditional men, the two main things that you're supposed to focus on succeeding in, which is your family, your children, your quote unquote legacy, have been failures. Like absolutely. And the craziest part is that you
I
don't
wouldn't
even
call it a failure.
For sure. You stayed
How?
in a household with somebody you didn't want to be with and didn't want to be in a relationship with. Like when the boy got grown, you divorced his mom at 18 as if that wasn't gonna have an effect on him. You missed him becoming a father. Like you living in the DR. Meanwhile, this boy done went from 18 and trying to figure out life with his parents being divorced into fatherhood in a matter of a few years. Those are huge life changes. And you try to figure out why his mom has more influence on him. She's probably closer.
She's there.
Yeah, she's present. Because while you was on the boat, she was with him. While you in the DR, she with him. While he trying to figure out how to navigate
certifications
and working at Amazon, she's there with him. So yeah.
No, he works at Amazon. I don't work at Amazon.
We didn't say you did. We know.
Okay.
You said what about Amazon?
No, I said he works at Amazon. I do not.
Yes, but you, sir, stop. I want y'all to stop trying to impress us with the military too. Because as long as you stay, an honorable discharge don't mean absolutely nothing. Like that means nothing to me at all whatsoever. Because all you got to do is just stay. That's it. Your claim to fame has been the military.
No, that's not my claim. My claim is that I
pay for vagina. Your claim to fame is you pay for vagina in a foreign country.
Exactly, public. Exactly.
To me.
That's buying it wholesale.
That's the only thing that you have.
He buying it 4 at a time.
You paying Amazon.
I told you that was when my friends came down.
You paying Amazon prices. You paying Amazon prices for a vagina in another country. It's diabolical.
Wholesale, Gary. When I go to Sam's Club, they not asking me why I'm buying all the cupcakes. They just know that I bought all the cupcakes at a discount. That's it. They don't care why you buying 4 women. They know that you are buying 4 women. That's how wholesale works. You buy them in bulk.
And let's be clear, when somebody, I don't know if I asked somebody else, when he said his son came to DR, y'all was like, did you pay for it? He said no, because he brought his baby with him. So your son sees how you bring your friends to the DR and allow them to cheat on their married wives, and then you're paying for him to get vagina. Like, your son don't respect you. That's what I'm just being honest. I don't think he really respects you.
All right, that's not how I think, but okay.
I think you're right, Dab. I mean, because like his daddy a liar. Like he ain't that dumb not to clock that his daddy is a liar. His daddy lets him down. His daddy let his mama down. No, that boy don't respect his daddy.
Damn,
it's
Gary.
easy to have this like moral high ground and think that you're better because you financially came out on the better end than that woman, but that don't make you a better person than her.
Y'all, somebody said he watch you. So wait a minute, you paying for your friends to have a cat in the DR while you watching in the closet?
I'm not watching in the closet. That we went in a private hacienda.
But I believe
He got it on camera, Dab. He got it. He got it. He
And
got it set up on him.
Everybody got their own DVD to go home with. So
He got it set up on a tripod. So,
Oh, so you recording it?
no, I'm not. They have the option to record their own sessions. They have a private hacienda.
Yeah, I definitely do not think that your son respects you. I'm just being honest.
hey, Gary was sitting there doing this shit like my nigga Jackie Chan. Oh yeah, baby.
My God, Gary, it is Sunday.
That's gross. And you told somebody else basic?
Hold on,
This is
y'all.
not true.
Listen,
Public,
you
you pay this man.
I did not. I hate when y'all levy these accusations against me. I have never paid anybody to come on my platform.
Because this is not real. This ain't real. You and Dad being cool with each other.
No, we don't.
People to come up here and lie in our face. Like,
what I get in this?
I ain't never did that a day in my life.
Right.
Nasty as hell. That's how Dad lies used to be. Proud of it too. Something fishy going on.
Right. But the crazy part about this is, again, you left at 18. Like they said, it's a pivot point of his life into adulthood. You left to go to the DR and pay for Cat and record it, and then bring him there to pay for his cat, but he brought the baby with him. Yeah, bro, your son don't respect you whatsoever. Like, literally, he's looking at you like these women are looking at you right now with disgust. Because ain't no way, you're literally teaching your son how to be disgusting. That's what you're teaching him, and he don't want no parts of that. That's why he don't fuck with you like that.
Queen.
That's why he did everything opposite of what you do right now as an adult.
I'm just mad. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm really upset because I be arguing with these niggas every day, telling me about how valuable the man is in a home. Exhibit A, Gary. Your wife could have did that, Gary. Whatever. Your wife could have did that by herself and not had to deal with you. Like, what the fuck?
Not and pay the bills and live where we live and drive what she drove. No, you could not.
What the hell does any of that mean when you money? That's what I'm saying. You could do a womanizer. Like your son went. But listen, y'all, we gotta clock this shit. Your son went and got married at 22. Yep. At 22, he got married and had a baby. He's trying to do everything different than you. He's not trying to be nothing like you, and you're not paying attention. Your son does not respect you. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on that.
Hey, Gary, what kind of car was she driving?
Depending on the year.
Nigga, don't be taking time to think. What kind of car was she driving?
No, it depends on the year.
The best car she drove.
The best car she ever drove was a Toyota Camry. No, I wasn't going to say that. It was a Camry. Current year, yes.
Gary, you need to bow your head. You boy, you said that with your whole 52 wheezed out.
Hey, that was the funniest shit that nigga said.
Well, look, I'm not going to lie, fam. I'm not going to lie.
Damn, you could have said you bought her a dot. Well, wait a minute.
Nah, I'm glad he didn't lie. What did she have? Was it an XLE?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Was it an XLE? Was it the V6? XLE V6?
Yes.
That's 40 racks.
Was this again?
Huh?
What year? I'm asking.
And I had a Lexus, and she had a Camry. It's basically a Lexus and Camry.
You drove the Lexus and you gave her the Camry?
A Camry and Lexus is the same car. You know that.
I oughta. You should get your fucking.
Wait a minute.
It's not Locker Rock, bro. What are you talking about?
Public. It's the same car, basically, the Camry and the Lexus.
Then give her the Lexus. Hey, Osa said how much on him? Ain't nothing on Gary head yet. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, Gary, my brother. Paul, you ever seen somebody stand in the hole and keep digging while they're in the hole and can't figure out why they can't get out?
That part.
Gary, my brother in Christ, you are drowning. I swear you are drowning, and you're making yourself look worse the more you talk. And I just hate to break it to you, but these ladies are absolutely right. your son don't want to be anything like you at all. I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you like that, but that's exactly what's happening.
All his son got to do to be better than him is just be a good man, and he'd be all right.
Oh man,
that's all he got to do. At this point,
that's why he went and got married, Pub. That's I'm with what's your name, Jones. That's why he went and got married at 22. He's trying to be better than you.
Yep. He just go. All he got to do is just love on his wife, love his baby forever. He beat you.
That's what you did do for him.
So I would say all he got to do is love his wife, keep his job, and get her at least to tell you right, and everybody will be straight.
Them tell you rides be hitting though. Hey, them tell you rides kind of cost. They kind of cost.
That sold off the lot. It was 12 miles on the dash on that kid's soul when I got it.
Gary, how old are you?
50. To be acting the way he do.
55.
55.
I knew it had to be somewhere around there. Oh, my brother, you got to be better. I'm sorry. You got to be better.
You're old dog. No nutrients.
Oh,
ain't no.
You ain't got much longer.
It is what it is.
I counted, man. I think I got like at least 25 good years.
And that's it. He gonna have a whole color purple ending. How he died on top of me.
I had to think about it for a second. I thought it was in the tub. I thought you were about to say Gary gonna die in the tub.
No, he gonna pass away trying to, like, all these men's daddy, Kevin Samuels.
Y'all seen the movie? Remember Distinguished Gentleman? When the nigga died at the beginning. When the nigga died at the beginning, hunching on his secretary.
Shoot, that Gary probably like, I waited my whole life for these.
But let's be honest. If we all going to die, like I know we all going to die, what a way to die, though.
I don't want to die like that.
You entirely too old to be talking.
He's a nasty old man.
That's traumatizing.
Nasty old man. Over there harassing them young girls.
That's why when I
harassing them young girls, I beg to differ.
This is who you are. This is who you always been. This is who you want to be. You could have got to this life a lot earlier, and you could have let her get on with hers. Like, you really did not have to waste that much of that woman's time. Like, she could have moved on, got remarried to somebody that actually liked her. Like, she could have lived like a whole full life and still been married to this day. But you decided to wait until your son was 18 to be the person you always were. That's diabolical.
You know what I also believe, though? I feel like the man, a lot of the times, also drives what type of woman what a woman will be. Sometimes I feel like Gary was just so sick of a husband, like so terrible of a husband. It just like took all the fight out of her.
Yeah, she don't like life no more. I already know that. Ain't no way.
I'm telling you, I bet you she was depressed as heck, sad. She felt stuck. Gary ruled with his measly little military check, and you see, we see Gary got the gift of gab. He probably beat that woman down mentally so bad that she didn't want to do nothing else. She said, I'm here. Let me raise my kid. I'm in this situation. He kind of backed me in a corner. This is what I got to do. I'm going to stick it out too. You, Gary, you thought you were sticking out. That lady was sticking it out for her son. She wasted her life on your raggedy, no good behind for the sake of her son.
You know the best thing you did, Gary, for that woman? Only had one baby.
Amen. Preach.
So, Public, I was about to ask that quick. I was about to say that, but I also wanted to know, when you divorced, did she receive any alimony or anything?
No.
Nigga.
What?
Gary.
What?
You hated that woman for real. Why did you hate her so much? What did she do to you?
She didn't do anything. I didn't have to give her alimony, but I gave her a package. I gave her a parting package. She got my grandmother's house. $10,000.
She got a house and $10,000.
Yes.
You let her keep the Camry?
No, that was lease.
No, it wasn't lease, fam.
You gave that lady the equivalent of a graduation gift and a tax refund after wasting 20 years of her time.
Well, hell, I was in there for 20 years too. Excuse you. Wasn't my time?
on the boat.
You didn't wait, hold on.
It wasn't like she was doing like a prison bid. Like, oh wow,
She was. You had that woman trapped. And you was playing in that lady face for 20 years.
Living in middle class Xanadu is trapped.
Playing in that lady face for 20 plus years is wild to me.
She's living in middle class Xanadu public. That's not trap.
Talk about a breezy.
But the thing about it, Gary, is you wasted her time and you wasted your time. Like, she didn't waste your time.
No,
she was in it, you know, she was in it. You wasted both of y'all time. So it's on you.
No,
you can't sit there and say,
while he was out of the sight of that woman.
Oh, he definitely was cheating on that woman. No doubt about it.
I told y'all that.
How many times you cheated on her?
Can I ask a question that we haven't asked?
Hold on, Gary. How many times did you cheat on her?
That's not the question.
That was my question.
That's the question.
That's my question.
Gary, come on.
That's the answer. It was a lot.
How many times did you cheat on her?
Exactly. It's called a lot. It's called a lot. That's the song.
Be real.
A lot. Okay. I figured so.
How many times did you cheat on her?
How far was it into the marriage that you told this lady you didn't want to be married to her no more?
I never told her I didn't want to be married.
You said that you said it at 16. I'm trying to figure out if you said it before then.
No, I just played my role. I knew that I was going to leave when he turned to be 16. I knew I was leaving. I just didn't say nothing.
So you was masking.
Yeah. He said he planned on it. He watched her walk around the house when they had a family gathering. And he watched her walk around the house with the family. And he made a plan that he was leaving when the son turned 18.
Yeah, he was plotting the whole time.
He never told her this, though.
That lady got pregnant, that he was like, dang, let me do my bid so I don't lose none of my little military benefits to her if I leave her. Oh, yeah, you was calculating on that one. I give you that. You played in that lady's face until that baby was good and grown. To where you, like I said earlier, like you didn't have to pay nothing. Like you a diabolical old nasty dude, I promise you. But you know what? You're going to reap all that, buddy.
If you think that Gary ain't in that little beach house fighting for his life right now,
yeah,
you was delusional as kids. He's fighting right now.
Malnourished liver going out.
Hey, Gary, how many Blue Chews and honey packs you got on deck?
Exactly.
Okay, it doesn't. I as I told public, I don't need that yet. But it doesn't work that way down here. You could go to any store.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that kind of shit is just on the corner.
Yeah,
Can we ask another question? How many you actually got?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
What?
How many kids do you actually have?
One.
One that he claimed.
No, I have one.
We're gonna do it like spades. How many books and how many possibles?
That part.
I don't play spades. I play pinochle.
I absolutely believe you.
How many possibles do you have, sir?
One.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe I put money on it that you had a couple of scares throughout them 29 years.
Oh yeah. I had a few scares. Yeah.
Look, he's proud of it too. Look at toothless self grinning. You can hear it in his
You had
voice.
you had a few scares from other women outside your marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary is more holistic.
I wasn't having these scares while I was married, but I was well into my 20s when I did, so I had a few scares before that.
Hey, they said Ali said Gary more holistic. He used horny goat weeds. He used horny goat weeds
and black maca.
Yep, little black. Hey, nah.
I knew
that maca powder.
That's why they didn't have no more kids. How many times did she know about it, Gary? How many of them did she know about?
None.
So you was cheating on this woman for 20 years?
No. No.
How long? How many years?
No, actually, I started an affair when my kid got to be 16.
You are lying.
No, I'm not.
All right, Gary.
You might as well tell the truth, Gary.
They got a dub.
You done stepped out on that woman.
No.
Tawana said she got a dub. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
You're not classy enough on the first.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Gary, wait, man. Tawana said I got a dub on Trick Daddy. She got 20 on Gary Head.
No, I had an affair when my kid was 18. 16, and she was married too. So
You're so proud of being a disgusting.
So that was, wait a minute.
why do you call me disgusting when I'm just the par for the course for most men in my age bracket? When I'm just par for the course for most men in my socioeconomic bracket.
So most men are disgusting.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Are you sorry?
In the famous words, some famous words that was once spoke. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, but he lying again because he just said he had many scares throughout the marriage, but then he just said he didn't.
No, he asked me, did I have any scares? I'm like, yes, I had scares in my life, not in my marriage.
I was talking about in your marriage, and you know I was talking about in your
Oh,
marriage.
we got
So
30
No, I
on
did
Gary.
not.
Hold on, we got 30 on Gary. Osa said 10 on Gary. He is disgusting. What's she going to do with $10,000? You wasted her time. The good thing about this, he will expire alone in DR. Yeah, but he gonna get a soldier's burial. They're gonna fly him back to the States and put him somewhere, one of them grave sites. Y'all know how it go.
I hope she got a policy out on him and don't ever get married again so she can cash in on it.
But how do you tell yourself that a woman that you were primarily supporting just kind of, you told her that because he said that he told her when the boy was 16. He did say that. That you told this lady that she was leaving and you had good money and good peen and she just walked away. Like she was like that, just the combination of them two. She didn't want neither one to hold on to at all. She just like, okay, that's fine.
Nah, she pulled away and exhaled. She said, you know what? I don't want none of this. She said, I don't want nothing from this Negro. I'm gone.
And you ain't lying.
She pulled an anime. She said, but the name stays. I worked too hard for that.
And did. I know she brings the sigh release. Sorry, Santana, my bad.
She said to Gary,
I'm just about to let Gary know. Hey, Gary, if they put another 5 on your head, I'm gonna take that final shot. Just so you know, I'm gonna just keep it funky with you because I will pay. To take you out. I'm surprised you last this long.
I can't believe it.
FYI, my brother.
Santana said, "Let them know I did it."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He got 30 on his head right now.
Okay, well, I would just like to say this, right?
Is she the one that had the pregnancy scare?
No. This was before I was married. I had a pregnancy scare before I was married, but that was that.
Lying and lie.
You thought you was pregnant. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
Gary said I didn't get my visit from Outflow this month. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
He said he was late.
Maybe I'm just seasick, but I don't know.
Also, he just basically told us that when he said he walked around and seen his wife walking around the house, around the family, he really just basically told us that he had another woman, and that's why he wanted to leave her.
Oh, that's what it was, huh? That's what it was. That's what gave him that little courage.
At the same time.
Well,
Gary,
if you're going to have that public. If we're going to have that for full disclosure, she's absolutely correct. That's exactly what happened.
This nigga terrible,
Tell us that. All right.
This nigga awful.
No shocking.
No. Absolutely understood that from listening to you for the past hour. Yet
we got 40 on Gary.
Exactly what you saying when you start telling them lies. We know.
Damn, Gary.
Gary just over there. He's so bored in the DR on this dadgum live telling all his dadgum business. Sad little
Gary, you need to clock in. Gary, you need a motherfucking weekend job. You need something to do.
Public. I do work. I work for Xfinity. I'm a firewall engineer. No, I'm a firewall engineer.
I said you need another
firewall
job.
Engineer.
You need another job. Oh, they did it.
Let me say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Pub. Am I not a man of my word?
Yeah, you a man of your word, sir. Yeah, he gone.
Appreciate it.
He gone. Santana finished him off.
Man, I'm telling you, that was, listen.
I can't wait to clip up that clip.
BPG, I just want to say this for the record. I had nothing to do with this. I don't pay people to come to my live.
I don't pay nobody to come to my live.
Hold on, public. I got you. As publicists, we are not accepting those allegations.
Y'all not beating them.
Ain't no way you got this man to come up here and say the things he said. Ain't no way.
What I do?
Gary did all that for an hour.
I am not allowing y'all to put that on him.
Hold on, what'd you say, Shan?
I said Gary did all that for an hour just to finally be like, yeah, it was just another woman the whole time.
This nigga.
We just gave him a platform to tell on himself. He was so proud.
He went around and about and made up story after story after story just to finally be like, okay, if we being honest, it was somebody. We said that an hour.
Hey, Gary.
I tell you.
Gary is Gary. Hold on, Gary is what's his name from Harlem Nights? Frankie. I think that's his name. The one that was with Sunshine when she.
Put your mama on the phone.
Hey, put your mama on the phone.
Listen, I ain't never come home.
Yeah, Darlene. And hey, remember when he hung up the phone? He said, yeah, to himself. He said, yeah.
He got tired of lying. He was like, you know
Richie.
what? Yeah, I'm tired of doing this shit by damn self.
I just put two and two together. I'm being slow too. BPG said, yeah, we speak snail. We understand. Gary the snail. B, I'm done. I'm done, B.
Listen, y'all, I want y'all to realize
SpongeBob in there.
everything he said came out the same exact way, and he thought it was different. And we sitting here looking crazy every single time. Meow.
I'ma tell you
it's
what.
supposed to be different words and it's supposed to be different lies. And every time we hear it, we like, what is this nigga saying? Meow. I love the way your brain works. I really do. While I'm up here, let me go ahead and glaze BPG for a minute. I love the way you put your words together. I love how you tie everything. Like, I mean, we get a master class, okay?
Hey, y'all.
Like, I love it. There's nothing I could teach because the only thing that happened was I was a smart mouth ass kid that just kept getting whoopings and kept being smart mouth. And after a while, you know, people get tired of you. So
I love it with somebody quick. You real quick.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna drop down, Pug. I'm telling you, Batman in a dark alley at midnight couldn't get the information out of me that Gary just shared.
I would never, bro. I would never.
I would have the audacity. Gary came up with caucasity. Ain't no way.
The shame I would feel telling that story the way I told it, especially the part about my son. I would never tell y'all that shit if my son ended up. Hey, you know what? I don't want to shit on his son because look who his son had as a fucking father.
Exactly.
How do you get past the $4 for $1? SWs? How do you get past the bulk hookers? Like, how do you get?
Well, no, he said you can get four for. He said you can get 4 for 8,000 pesos, and then somebody put in the chat that 8,000 pesos is $400. So that's $100 a SW.
No.
He said that I literally laid in my bed, took my hair off, and put my scarf on. So I knew we was gonna be here for a long night. As soon as he said that,
I tell you what, no.
Hold on, Santana.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Come on, when he brought up the fantasy, whatever, the franchise player, I was already like, what? I was taking my hair down and had to come on camera like, wait a minute, I'm looking crazy. But what did he just say?
Why at that moment, I knew wigs off behind Gary.
I knew at that moment we was in for a ride. And I'm telling y'all, that man wasn't lying about nothing he just said. It's just the way he went about telling us.
I don't think he was lying either. I think we just had to grill him to get it out, but he wasn't lying about that shit.
Yeah.
Y'all know how they talk about serial unalivers really want the attention and the clout and to be recognized. Gary is that guy. He got up on Beyonce's interweb and was gladly telling all the sick stuff that he's done in his life. And how in the world does one find SWs at discount rates? Can I get 5 for $1? And how much if I buy 2 of them at one time? Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Gary
Listen,
is
listen,
Well-
listen.
You heard me
This is
ask
how.
him. You heard me.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let Santana go.
This is how, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna drop down. This is how you know Gary took L though. Me and my old lady was in Vegas like a couple of months ago. They got 2 for $99 special in Vegas apparently. So Gary really missing out. Listen. My fiance lost her mind because she was like 2 for $99 for an hour in Vegas. So Gary really missing out.
2 for $99 what?
You know, yeah, exactly what you think. 2 for $99 in Vegas. They had a special. Draft. Matter of fact, we was there during the NFL draft. They had a special 2 for $99. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that, y'all.
Anyway.
So listen, when he said that, when he was talking about
That's
the
crazy.
prices, you heard me when public asked him, does he pay for it? And then he went on to tell us what the government say, and then he went on to tell us the price. And I'm like, so wait a minute. You not paying for it, but you knowing the going rate? He talking about, you got to know about the environment you live in. Nah,
I don't.
bruh. I don't know the going rate for the candy.
I don't know what a bird go for no more. I used to.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know what it go for now.
Like, what seedy dadgum bars is you just slithering around in? Like, how do you even broach the subject? Hey, man, got any spicy pool? Like, what the heck?
Oh no.
Gary, no, because he's not lying about how he's not lying about the fact that
Hey.
Gary walking. He's not lying about how he's thrown out there.
Like Mary J. Blige in the Not Gonna Cry video, talking about which way to the back? Which way am I supposed to go? Giving that secret code.
All right, man.
I know what 3.5 was back in 2000. I can't tell you what a 3.5 costs now.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about none of them prices.
Knocking on the door twice.
I don't know what wine costs. I don't know what none of them illicit substances cost no more. I ain't fucking dabbled in that shit in years. But hey, I gotta go. We did it. We arrived. We finally got rid of Gary. I appreciate everybody came up on the panel. One love, one thug. Y'all know what it is. Everybody that hit the super chat. Miss Not for Everyone. Invincible Summer. Anthony, Tawana, Nia, Dainty, Yasmin. Yeah. Teamwork make the dream work. Are you not entertained? We got to 160,000 likes. We did it, Joe. I got to make some dinner. Yeah. Don't worry. It'll be on YouTube as soon as it ends right now. Nisi, you can rewind the whole thing back. And make sure you get to the part with Gary in it. Because it's crazy. That was crazy. Damn, that was crazy. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. That was crazy. Y'all definitely gotta keep the live alive. $1 a do you on the way out one time for your boy, man. We had to get through that. We had to labor. We had to get through all the sift through the lies and the treachery. Whole time that man was motherfucking Legion 2.0. Whole time that man was Legion 2.0. Ain't that some shit? Hey, next week on Wednesday, I'm running the prompt for the prompt request. Appreciate you, Bianca. We running the prompt request next week on Monday or Wednesday. Sorry, Miss Jones. Appreciate you. Gave me PTSD. He didn't like that lady. Gary, you didn't like that lady, man. Angel, I appreciate you. Y'all tripping. That man didn't like that woman at all. I need to talk about Brian McKnight. I'll do a video on Brian McKnight. I just did a video on somebody, one of them terrible dads. Can't remember who it was. Appreciate you. But he is a poster child for most men. Yeah, he is, Osa. He is. Where is Cam? Talking about Cam Newton? He wasn't a deadbeat. He was just neglectful. Oh, man. Sean, all right, hold on real quick before we go. Let's run a poll. Was Gary being true? Was Gary being honest or no? Let's run that poll real quick till we hit 200,000. Was Gary being honest or dishonest? As soon as I figure out how to do the polls in here, I'm gonna run them in this live too. I don't even know how to do it. Was Gary being honest or dishonest? I want to know. Mm-hmm. Hey, hit that poll up there, man. I want to know, was Gary a bold-faced liar or no? Mm-hmm. Where you running the polls in this movie? Oh, there we go. Poll is up on the YouTubes. Poll is up on the YouTubes. No, I see it. Hit that poll one time. 24 seconds left. Damn, y'all think he was lying, huh? On YouTube, they think he was lying so far. 70-ish, 70%. Let's see what y'all talking about on TikTok. 60-40, they said. 60% said no, 40% said yeah on TikTok. YouTube is 74-26 right now. I don't know if he was lying, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if he was lying now. I think he told more truths than lies. I think he told more truths than lies, y'all. I don't know. Mm. 72 to 28% on the YouTubes. They saying yeah. They saying he was a lie. Agent said, "I wish it was a lie." He did get caught in some lies. That's true. But when he told the full truth, it was like, appreciate you, Z the dog. When he told the full truth, it was like, I don't know. I don't know. You just had to draw it out of him, though. I don't know. I think most of what he said was the truth. I think he left that woman to go hunch women in DR. He left out everything. We had to put it all together, Allison. That was the point. We had to grill the motherfucker We had to grill my man. Foreman style. George Foreman grilled me. Why this damn? And we hit 200,000. All right. I'm going to end the poll now. 72% on YouTube said that Gary was a bold-faced liar. It was damn near. It was 60-40 on TikTok, 70-30 on YouTube's. Lying by omission, they said. Ray Riz said he rocked with Gary, of course. Birds of a feather, huh? Two diabolical niggas. Hey, but I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. It's Monday.